Hey guys, just me on my own for a few minutes. Liz will be joining us soon, but we are back for event number 2, which is the Knaack Deadlift. I think it's approximately 340 kilos, 750 pounds, around that kind of mark. What is it? 353 kilos. There we go, a little bit more. Right, that was an eventful first event. I'll just quickly go through the results so far. So those of you that don't know, you're just joining us, understand event 1 was the shield carry. It was meant to be the fingers. Due to weather conditions, they changed. They wanted to make sure the athletes stay safe. So they went with the shield first. And we had in last place on the shield, Jacco Schoenwinkel. This should have been a good event for him, but he made a mistake, went off really fast and tripped. 15.92 meters. Matt Ragg was next. He was 37.65 meters. Brian Shaw, he was 39.1 meters. Then we had Luke Stoltman at 44.62. Pavlo Kordiaka was the big news of the day. Pavlo actually went the furthest distance, but he failed to make his foot cross the line and was penalized 20 meters. So although he went the furthest distance, he was only given 46.59, good enough for 6th place. Evan Singleton taking 5th with 48.3. Then the top 4, Trey Mitchell, 50.83. Alexei Novikov, 55.87. Tom Stoltman, 63.15. And first place for Mitch Hooper, 64.8. So 4 of the top 5 favorites, if you like, doing very, very well. Bad start for Brian Shaw, but that is Brian Shaw's worst event out of the way. Whew. Right. We've got a super chat from Dave Halef. Thank you very, very much, Dave. We hope you're well. Hey guys, missed the live stream. What happened to Brian Shaw? So nothing happened to Brian. He was unfortunately had to go out first, which is always tough on an event like this. And he was just shy of 2 lengths. Now, something I know from personal experience is this type of event I was much better at in my early 20s, tended to get a little bit worse as I got older. Brian Shaw and myself, Brian's actually a little bit older than me, and I think he just struggled a bit more on it. I think we will see much better performances from Brian. The last time we saw Brian do a shield carry was many, many years ago, and just maybe that conditioning not quite as good as it used to be. But like I said, it's not the ideal start for Brian. He would have wanted a few more points, but he has some that is without question his worst event of the competition. Deadlift looked really strong in the heats. Fingers, I'm expecting him to win. The dumbbell he's very good at. His stones are unbelievable, and he's a very good truck puller. So if you are a Brian Shaw fan, it's not all over. One event does not decide the competition, but the top 4 will be happy. Obviously, a big disappointment for Pavlo Kordiaka, as he would have wanted to take that win, and he could have taken that win. The fact is, athletes go through a rules meeting beforehand, and if the athletes are told that this is what's going to happen if you don't cross the line, then you have to stick to that. Now, it was only a small distance, but we can't give reps for people that don't lock out. We shouldn't be giving reps for people that don't lock out on pressing or deadlifting, etc. So you can't give people distances if they don't adhere to the rules. It's harsh, but if they are all understood beforehand and set, then that's what it is. And the athletes need to make sure they adhere to those rules and don't make mistakes. It's no one's fault. Pavlo is not the kind of guy that's trying to cheat anyone. He's a good guy, but it's just a mistake on his part and something he will no doubt learn from. It's not like he's bad at this event. He's just made a mistake there. And obviously, being in the biggest competition in the world, it hurts. But he needs to forget about that now and focus on the next event.
Can I throw you a curveball?
Yeah.
He was given the signal to say cross the line.
We don't know that.
Oh, I've seen
it. Who gave him the signal?
Dave Warner, but then jumped up out of his seat to say he'd made a mistake that was too late. Pablo was going again.
But that's different again then, but I don't want to bring that in without knowing and seeing being there. But that's a curveball we can talk about on another day. I don't want the whole stream to just be about Pavlo. But yeah, I mean, if that is the case, then there's more to talk about. But we weren't there. We don't know what was said. And if the rules are set beforehand, then they're set. But yeah, refereeing, I keep talking about it. We need a rule book in Strongman so everyone is the same and understands and can train to those, standards. That would be good. Anyway, Gary Dunn, thank you for the super chat. My coach knows Jacco's coach, and it could have been a belt being too tight issue, and he blacked out, cleared to compete. So yeah, it could well have been. These are mistakes that are made. One thing with World's Strongest Man, and he's not used to being at World's Strongest Man, he may have been told to be ready to go, and then they may have kind of delayed that start. So these are things that experience will help with. I think Jako's done incredibly well so far, and he's going to learn a lot from this experience. Where are we? You're going to be joining us soon, Auntie Liz?
Yes, I'm just waiting for this to finish downloading.
Cool. Brian fans, Tom could have gone further. That's an interesting thing. I believe so too. I believe, knowing that Novikov was still to come, knowing that Pavlo was still to come, he should have pushed a bit harder. But he's got a very solid second place, and probably for him, not taken a huge amount out of himself. So maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was tactical, but he's got 9 out of possible 10. We'll see if it bites him at the end of the day. He may find that he's just trying to save energy for some of the other events. But yeah, I thought that as well. I thought maybe, if you still had something in you, keep going, especially, you didn't know how well Pavlo and Novikov were going to do on this event. So if it was me, I would have been, trying still, but you never know. We will know at the end of the day tomorrow whether it affects him or not. Thank you, Cameron. Hit that like, everyone. Yeah, if you haven't already, go and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 135,000 subscribers right now. Let me tell you what we're on. We are on 134,796, so just shy of 200 more, and we hit the 135,000. That would be incredible if we could do that today. So if you guys haven't already, go and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I know I keep going on about it, but it just helps us so much. And World's Strongest Man Week is the week that we tend to get the most growth in the channel. So I'm trying to get the channel growing as much as we can so we can do more and more within the strongman community, because a lot of comps are nowhere near as popular as this one. What did Liz say? Kelly laughing at Liz, saying she saw the video of the good signal from the ref. Yep, Liz, nothing gets past Liz. Auntie Liz wants to be a referee at World's Strongest Man. Let's wait and see about Pavlo and move on to the deadlift. Yeah, I agree, Nicola. Unfortunately for him, this isn't going to be an amazing event for him, but he does have very good events after that. So I'm sure he will keep fighting. Lost to lead the committee to write the rule book, get it in front of Parliament. I've mentioned this to Colin, I've mentioned it to Darren, I've mentioned it to Magnus. I do think we need some kind of rule book within the sport to make sure these things don't happen. What else do we have? Mitch lifting Flex Lewis may affect his dumbbell. God, Mitch doesn't stop lifting. The man is a machine. He's interesting to coach, I'll tell you that. Stress, if you've kind of noticed, I'm getting grayer and grayer since I've been coaching Mitch. But he is an amazing athlete and the perfect start. We couldn't ask for better, really. Subscribe, people. Thank you, Johnny. We appreciate you guys supporting us. Let's see if we've gone over that 800 mark. Oh, yeah, we're up to 134,827. Let's see if we can get to 135,000 subscribers. That would be incredible. Auntie Liz is joining us, I think.
I'm going to have to bring my laptop.
That's fine. Can you not stay away?
No, it's just
New member. Thank you, Kimo, for becoming a member of the channel. I can't wait to see Big Loss more of the arm wrestling table. Thank you very much. I'm trying. I'm having a mini break from arm wrestling just to train for. I was doing it, but arm wrestling sometimes affects my strongman stuff as well. And I'm about 6 weeks away from the British Masters, so I've decided I need to focus on that for 6 weeks, and then we'll get back into the arm wrestling. Oh, sorry, Auntie Liz is shoving me out the way.
In the house. Sorry about that, everyone.
You joining us?
Editing and uploading a video. It's still downloading from Final Cut. There we go. Now we can see what's going on.
I can also have a quick look at.
Yeah, now Loz can relax a bit more as well, and I will keep an eye on the comments.
So it looks like we are starting at 1:30 their time.
Okay, what's that? Another 50 minutes, 50.
Yeah, so we've got time to just chat and chill for now.
Don't worry, I am here. No need to riot. Stop you rioting. Peace will prevail. Mitch believes in active recovery. Yes, he does.
Yes, I like active recovery. I don't like lifting a 150-kilo dumbbell to my shoulder as active recovery. But didn't affect him. He went and won the dumbbell, and I spoke to him between the shield carry. He went and won. And I've spoken to him already, and he said, he's feeling it, like they all will be, but he feels fine.
Lars, will you be commentating at the Rogue Invitational?
I believe so. I never like to say for sure, but I pretty much think from the relationship I've had now with them that I'm a staple at the Rogue and the Arnold. So I don't ever want to kind of just assume that I am. But when I ring them up, they're just like, yeah, of course you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully, as long as you guys want me there, I'll be there.
They don't even invite him anymore. They're just like, hi, Lars, we need to sort out your flights. Meanwhile, Lars is having palpitations. Like, am I going? Am I going? What have we got?
I never take anything for granted. I enjoy what I do.
Of course.
And
don't like to make assumptions either. Michael, thank you for this. Is that Michael Mitchell? Sorry, Mitchell. Thank you for the super chat. We don't know Pablo's exact situation. Silly to keep speculating. If the ref did give him the go, then we can riot when it all comes to light. And
that's my philosophy as well. We don't know exactly what happened. We weren't there. I don't want to speculate too much.
Yeah.
But if rules were decided beforehand, then those need to be stuck to.
Yeah. Brian, thank you for the super chat. Is Rauno going after the 18-inch or silver dollar deadlift record later in the year? I'm looking to go after the silver dollar deadlift record myself next year. Just the 18-inch he's going for, and that's going to be on, I think, July the 22nd, where there's an event going on in Estonia. He's invited us for it, so we'll be there filming.
And he's going to be at the Deadlift World Championships
on the 2nd of September in Cardiff. So yeah, you can 580 kilos is the silver dollar deadlift record, which I'm sure you know, and he broke that last year in June, I think it was.
Do you know one thing? I do have an issue with the 18-inch deadlift record.
Go on then.
It needs to always be done on the same bar.
Yeah.
There are too many variables with different types of bars.
Yeah, some of them are crazy.
So I do have an issue with that lift. I have an issue with the deadlift as well because different bars are different. What I like about the World Deadlift Championships is they've been using the same bar since they started that contest. Yeah. And it will be the same bar next year, forward, that they've all lifted on. So I like that it's the same equipment used every year.
Tom, no worries. It's the Knaack Deadlift, so it should have been.
We don't know what the third event's going to be, do we?
No. So they won't do the Fingles finger in rain because you cannot have those fingers wet and slippery while the guys are trying to push them overhead. It would be extremely dangerous. So we're gonna have to wait and see.
Deadlift, I don't think they'll it's raining still there at the moment. It looks like it's going to rain, but I don't think that will put them off. I remember 2011, I ended up deadlifting in the rain at World's Strongest Man. Deadlifting in the rain is not an issue.
Yeah.
Doing fingers in the rain is dangerous. Doing Atlas stones in the rain is dangerous. But the deadlift, you just stood there.
You've got straps on,
yeah,
so
it's not going to be, it's not the most fun conditions to compete in. We might see athletes doing a rep less than maybe they're capable of, but it affects them all exactly the same.
I'd be a nightmare. I don't like when the rain gets in my eyes.
To be honest, I say it'll affect a rep. It doesn't. When I did it back in 2011 in the rain, all of us were hitting huge numbers.
Yeah.
So it's not going to affect them. It's just annoying.
Michael, thank you for becoming a channel member. What time is Yako starting the next event? So we believe it's going to be in about 50 minutes.
If we get any updates, we will let you guys know.
Yeah. Lars, this type of deadlift affect Novikov because it's a bit lower?
We will see. We will see. I'm not sure how much different it is from last year. He was very good at last year's deadlift. But I think Novikov will be decent.
I think more than anything, the lack of figure of 8 straps might affect some athletes. It will be interesting.
I don't think too many of the guys in the final will be too affected. I think it will suit Brian because he's never used figure of 8s.
Yeah. Not everyone likes them, do they?
Yeah. I think it'll suit Trey Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because he's got that powerful drive, like the strong legs. But we'll see. We'll see. I haven't seen the deadlift yet myself. I haven't had a chance to, use it. So it's hard to say exactly. We'll know after the first few guys go.
Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Been playing football for a couple of hours. Could you please give me a quick update for what's happened and what the rest of the day plan is? Do you want to give just from 1st to 10th place so far based off of event 1?
Okay.
You don't have to give the distances. So this is based on shield carry alone.
So event number 1 was won by Mitch Hooper. Second place was Tom Stoltman. Third place, Alexei Novikov. Fourth place was Trey Mitchell. Evan Singleton was 5th. Pavlo Kordiako was 6th. Luke Stoltman 7th. Brian Shaw 8th. Matt Ragg 9th. And Jaco Schoenwinkel was 10th.
What bar did they use at the deadlift championships, Lazo? Is it a power bar? A deadlift bar?
I will check with Darren Sadler so that I answer that question correctly. I don't want to speculate, but I know they've been using the same bar for a good amount of time at that competition.
Could they swap the dumbbell to today and do the fingers tomorrow? Well, I've been thinking, what event
would
could
they put tomorrow?
Well, they've got track pull. Don't want to do that in the rain. I don't think you want to do the dumbbell in the rain.
And ideally, you don't want to do dumbbell in the rain.
No, I think if it's genuinely dreadful, I think we're more likely to see 4 events tomorrow than we are.
That could be a possibility.
Yeah,
but let's wait and see. They might expect the weather to get better later. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
I think we focus on the deadlift and then we see what's happening.
Yeah, I've seen Mitch and Tom shield carry, and Tom deliberately put the shield down. He
looked like he did.
I
agree. I think it was a bit of a mistake.
I think it was a mistake. If he loses by 1 point, he'll never, like, that will play on his mind forever. But
it was interesting because I understand if he was the last pairing to go.
Yeah.
But knowing Mitch hadn't put it down, even though Mitch was struggling, knowing that you still had Pavlo and Novikov still to come, who are known as being good at this. Okay, Pavlo made a mistake and his positioning is way lower than we expect. He actually went the furthest distance. Yeah. But I do agree with you that it could end up costing him. It's not costing too much in the end. It's only second place instead of what would have been first place. So the likelihood is maybe it doesn't cost him. But if we get to those stones and that final event and he loses by 1 point, he will be kicking himself.
Yeah. Heaney, thank you for the super chat. In your experience, Lars, is there a lot of mind games during these finals? Are all of the athletes really as friendly as they make it seem?
They're friendly, but yeah, there's a lot of mind games that go on, and every single one of them wants to win. And if they don't, what are they doing there? Yeah. You know, there's prize money. This is about putting food on the table for your families. It's not just the prize money, the sponsorship that could come from these competitions. There's a huge amount of money on the line now. It's
pride on the line as well.
Pride, you know, being the world's strongest man now is a big title, and it you know, every single one of them wants to do as well as possible. So there is gamesmanship, you know. Mitch will use gamesmanship. Tom Stoltman will. Luke Stoltman, Novikov. Novikov is a crafty, you know. I love Novikov, but he's crafty. He'll kind of play mind games on the other athletes.
Yeah.
Some of them are just in it. I don't expect Pavlo to be playing many mind games.
No, Pavlo is quite pure and innocent.
But it certainly goes on, and it starts before World's Strongest Man with certain people saying certain things. It goes on without question, and some people are very, very good at the mind games. Some people not so much. Some people are affected more by it. Some people not so much. My advice is always focus on yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
ignore everyone else.
I played mind games with people. It's part of the sport. You know,
he was the sneakiest sneak.
I wasn't sneaky.
No, I know.
I played mind games in kind of a different way. I liked people to kind of put that pressure on themselves and think they were that much better than me. So often my training videos that I post up were not the numbers I was actually doing, whereas some people need to be reassured that they're great all the time and post up they almost exaggerate what they're doing.
Yeah. Mark, are they wearing suits for the deadlift?
They are allowed to wear suits for the deadlift. Yes. So, just no figure of 8 straps.
Yeah. And a certain length of figure of 9. Do we call them 6? I don't know. Really Mysterious live again. FFS, give me a break. Just kidding. Nice to see you here too. Really Mysterious.
Thank you.
And David, thank you for the super chat. Liz, can you say fingers 5 times fast? Fingers.
I think she's mastered it.
Yeah, I have.
By Jove, you've done it.
Fingle. Yeah. I really couldn't get it right that day though, could I? Or any day actually.
It's funny. We've gone up to 855 subscribers, so 134,855. We are closing in on that 135,000. Let's see if we can get there, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. And while you're there, give this video a like.
Thank you, Etwo and Wyatt, for becoming channel members, and Some
of these names,
I know.
You're killing us.
For
We
the super
apologize
chat.
for our terrible pronunciations.
It's all part
But
of
if
the
you enjoy our
entertainment
terrible
package.
pronunciations, then
Yeah.
then it's okay.
Yeah. Thank you for always bringing amazing coverage, and thank you very much for your super chat and for joining us. More
Thank you very
importantly than
much.
anything. And Mango
Desiree,
Fanta is in the house.
Desiree.
Is it? I don't know. It wasn't spelled that way. Not sure about Brian so far, based on how he did in the shield carry. He's going to have a lot of ground to recover to where consistency won't be enough.
He without question now he needs top 3 on each event, but it's not it's not an impossibility that he comes top 3 on each event and wins a couple of them as well.
No.
So I wouldn't count him out yet, but it was not the start that he wanted.
Knaack is just the event sponsor.
A bit like the Rain
company.
shield carry.
Yeah.
It's the Knaack Deadlift. It's a deadlift.
Yeah,
But it's called the Knaack Deadlift, the Rain shield carry, rather than just the shield carry.
Yeah.
They may have sponsors for some of the other events as well.
Showneck, thank you for the super chat. What's the best way to support athletes without a strong social presence like Trey and Bobby? Mitch has merch and memberships. Brian has supplements and equipment.
It's a good question.
It is a good question.
We need to talk to Bobby about getting some merch.
Find out their PayPal and just bring him a donation.
Some athletes, like I will talk to Mitch to Bobby, because I think he should be pushing his social media a little bit. He's just not that kind of person, and Trey's the same. He's very quiet. But maybe they'll look at some merchandise. I think that's something that can definitely. I'd wear a Bobby top. I'd wear a Trey top, and I don't even coach him.
Yeah,
I like Trey. I've got a spicy Stoltman top. I've got Coco's. Who else have I got?
We've got loads of people's. Andy Blacks. I've got a Paro Dwyer top.
Yeah.
I've got a Rauno top, even though
we just made it ourselves. But,
no, someone made it for us, and it's a meme. But yeah. A
couple of athletes that aren't even here as well. So yeah, I think we're in a position now where people like to support their favorite athletes, and we're trying to support as many people as possible in the sport, whether it's just promoting them, giving them an opportunity. I want to get some more talking strongman. I have to grab my charger because my battery's going to die. I want to do some talking strongman shows with some of the new guys. We've got most of the athletes that have competed, but it'd be good to get maybe the new guys from OSG. Auntie Liz and myself do quite a lot with OSG. Ooh, what's going on here? So we will talk to them and see if they can maybe set up some merchandise, or whether they're interested in other forms.
OnlyFans.
There we go.
Read the one that's on the screen.
Oh, sorry.
That one, yeah.
How many Diet Cokes will Uncle Oz drink during event 2? At least 1, possibly 2, but at least 1, I think, is definitely going to happen. I have a bad habit of drinking way too many Diet Cokes, but give me a break. It's not a full fat Coke, and I used to drink them, so I never drink calories now. I only drink things like black coffee, water, Diet Coke, and sometimes a 0-calorie Monster before training. Not that it's good for me, but it's way better than some of the stuff I used to drink, and it keeps me happy. So leave me alone.
The wire won't reach.
No.
I'm gonna have to set up shop somewhere else.
You want to swap?
No. Oh God, no. No, we can't be on the wrong side.
Around how long until the deadlift? I think we're looking at about half an hour to 40 minutes till the deadlift starts, guys. That's what I was last told, and no changes since then. So we will get through some of these. Yep, as Nicola says here, Knaack is the name of the sponsor.
It's Knaack.
Knaack, sorry. The way you popped over my shoulder then, that was hilarious. Do it again. Andrew Goobles, thank you so much for the super chat. It's very generous. World's strongest man with Loz and Liz at this group, and this group has been so enjoyable. Thank you. So you guys are really making it enjoyable for us too, just being able to chat to you. I've seen people chatting in the comments as well. It's really nice that you're all getting along so nicely, and hopefully our mods are doing well with any spam that's going on. This made it easy to appreciate the athletes and cheer them all on. No injuries and good performances. Even a great stone off by The two masters. Yeah, it's just been amazing to watch so far. And I really like seeing new people get into the sport. I like that you get to understand more about the athletes because, you know, these are our friends. Most of them, we get on very well and we know what they're like. Sometimes that doesn't always come across on TV, and sometimes just due to maybe not doing so well on an event, the TV will edit it so that we only see the battle between whoever might be challenging to win. So it's nice to allow you guys to see some personality, and we like doing things behind the scenes. If you watch some of our videos, you'll see us all just messing about. We've been bowling, training. What else have we done with the guys? We've done water park was amazing. Yeah. That was good fun. I think we had Rauno, Andrea, Ivers, myself and Liz go to a water park. That was great fun. But yeah, we're just normal people doing normal things, and then suddenly on TV lifting these ridiculous weights that they can lift. So it is good fun to see them doing normal things sometimes. Lucas Child, thank you again. That's a very kind super chat. Do the athletes dislike Hooper? It looks like Tom looked at Hooper after he dropped the Husafel, and the Stoltmans didn't include Hooper on their finals. Guesses.
Mind games.
Beef here. You've got to remember these are direct competition with each other, and you know, even like Dan and myself, I coach Hooper, Dan coaches the Stoltmans, and right now we are focused on our athletes performing. Once the competition is over, I'm sure everyone will get on absolutely fine. But the Stoltmans, particularly Tom, want to win this title. Mitch Hooper wants to win this title. Like Novikov wants to win this title. And I think it's just a little bit of that mind games rather than disliking. I hope that's the case because I like the Stoltmans very much. I like Dan. I like all the athletes, to be quite honest with you. But obviously, I'm invested into Mitch Hooper, just like Dan is invested into the Stoltmans, and he wants his guys to win. So I totally get that. But hopefully, after the competition, we are all friends. I've not seen any dislike. I have seen mind games with Tom not mentioning Hooper in the predictions. That is mind games, because how can you ignore someone that's just won the Arnolds, for instance, and has not been off a podium since World's Strongest Man last year, and Mitch has won the first event. So I think anyone that is ignoring Mitch is either stupid, and I don't believe that is the case with the Stoltmans. Tom Stoltman did the exact same thing about Martins last year. Martins was his closest opposition. So sometimes it is just mind games. Eddie Hall was good at the mind games. Indeed, he was. Eddie was one of the masters when it comes to mind games.
I'll be there in a minute.
Wish we had Lasha Talahadze competing. Yeah, that is someone I'd love to. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see it, but it's someone I'd love to see try Strongman and, you know, train for it for a while and see what he could do. That would be exciting. New member, thank you to Natalie for becoming a member of the channel.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that.
Say Sunshine City 5 times fast.
Oh, for God's sake. Sunshine City, Sunshine City, Sunshine City, Sunshine City, Sunshine City.
Well done.
Thank you.
I'm glad you took that. I'm just presuming these comments are for you.
Oh, they definitely are.
Going forward.
Have you moved into the middle again?
Probably. Do you want me to shuffle over?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Used to you taking up 2/3 of the space. Can
we get some Team Liz merch and Team Rauno merch? We can make that happen. We are in very much looking at Team Liz merch. We may speak to Rauno because obviously, for those that don't know, we have released the Rauno Deadlift Bible to really help Rauno, and it is now available on our website, and he will appreciate. I know already we've sold a few, and he is over the moon that we've sold some. If you guys want to go there, remember this guy is pretty much one of the best deadlifters on the planet. He won the Deadlift World Championships last year. He destroyed the Masters World Record. He wins multiple deadlift comps in international competitions. And he's looking forward to challenging to take it up even higher this year. And I've just started doing the deadlift Bible as part of my training. And it's tough. I'm not going to lie. And I'm someone that had a decent deadlift in my prime, but I'm enjoying trying something new. And it's nice to, you know, not think about my own training because I coach a lot of people and I'm just doing what Rauno tells me.
Does anyone know how long the shield carry course was? It was 20 meters, but obviously there and back as many times as possible. It was a max distance event. Anna, thank you for the super chat. My first year following along with World's Strongest Man. I'm not a fitness or strongman enthusiast at all, but I like
Like
learning
Liz.
about new things from people who are enthusiastic about the topic. Thanks for sharing y'all's knowledge. Thank you for joining us, Anna. I love
That's
strongman.
something
You can't
I
say
love.
about that.
I want people to enjoy strongman that don't necessarily want to do strongman. It's great that we have new people wanting to do strongman, but I just want people to enjoy it as a show. And that's what Liz does. You know, people sometimes don't get that Liz doesn't want to train, but she just really enjoys watching strongman.
Exactly. And lots of people enjoy.
You're very knowledgeable
football
about
and
strongman.
stuff like that. Yeah, you don't have to play it. Gregors, thank you for the super chat. Hi, family. I'd like to see mystery event at World's Strongest Man. Was quite good at WUS. Loved your coverage. You make shreds. God, I can't talk. Spreadsheets exciting. Unsung heroes of World's Strongest Man.
Thank you very much, Gregors.
Yeah, I think with things like, as long as it's not a ridiculously heavy event for a mystery event, but then I guess other people complain that, oh, it's not heavy enough. It's supposed to be World's Strongest Man. So you can't ever please
everyone.
I do
like mystery events. I don't think we should have them at World's Strongest Man.
Mm.
The reason being, I want to see the absolute best performances from guys at World's Strongest Man. So for that, I believe athletes should know the events to train in advance. But in some competitions, maybe like at a Giants Live, or sort of, you know, just some competition like the WUS competition when they did the surprise event, I think it's quite fun.
Yeah.
But World's Strongest Man is meant to be the pinnacle of the sport. And I just want to see Worlds be as fair as possible, so that all the athletes find out the events the exact same time. I don't want the stone off.
No.
I want to see a system that allows us to find the best in the world at the biggest competition.
Ran into Ivers having a smoke, followed by awkward eye contact and me likely mispronouncing his name. It's Ivers Schmuxless, not Avars or Evars or Avars. Or
Ivers is cool, though.
Yeah, Ivers is lovely.
He'll be chilling now, won't he?
Oh, yes. Ryan, thank you for becoming a member. And what have we got? Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Who is in charge of the sponsor relations? Because Slim Jim should totally be a sponsor of the Fingles.
That would be a good sponsor.
Imagine them made like a Slim Jim. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
IMG.
World's Strongest Man. Get on to Slim Jim.
What is Slim Jim? Is it a cigarette?
It's like I think it's like a sausage type.
A sausage.
Yeah. You know, like a pepperami type thing.
Quickly Google it.
It's an American kind of.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Slim Jims. Sarah, thank you for the super chat. Think you deserve something stronger than Diet Cola. Well, thankfully, we don't drink. It's a good job, really.
I've promised Mitch if he wins, we'll have a drink.
We'll have a drink.
We may have a drink tomorrow for the finals. You never know. We might need it.
Robert misses the sex bot. So do I, Robert. So do I, if I'm honest. Fred, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for doing the lives, keeping us updated. Much love from
Looks
New
like we
Brunswick.
should be starting fairly soon.
Excellent. Enjoying a beer, barbecue, and your stream near the ocean makes for a great Saturday. That sounds
good
lovely.
Stuff.
Especially the barbecue. Do it again, Liz. What did I do? Probably the head pop up.
That's a Slim Jim.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Yeah, you've seen them before.
Yeah, I have. Well, I can't remember every new brand, Lozzo.
It's not new. It's just
American. It's new to me, isn't it? Katie, thank you for the super chat. I just wanted to tell Auntie Liz that her dress is lovely and she's looking very pretty today. That's very kind. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
Make me shy. Oh, for God's sake, what's this now? Really mysterious. The sixth sick shakes six sheep's sick. Lol. Thank you for that, honestly. You guys.
The sixth sick shakes sixth sheep's sick.
I think I did it better.
You definitely did it better.
Yeah. I heard Andrea on a BBC comedy podcast just recently.
Amazing.
It's great to see the women getting more recognition. Like the women's side is blowing up massively, isn't it? Compared to where it was just a year or two ago. All right, just checking I'm not getting any info through. Jonathan, Mitch ended up walking like Eddie Hall's boxing stance. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Jonathan. There you go. Eddie Hall inspired many with his boxing against Thor. Daryl, thank you for the super chat. Howdy, Loz and Liz. No particular World's Strongest Man question at the moment. Just looking forward to the remaining 5 final events. As always, enjoying the commentating and content. Thank you. Commentary
and content.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Based on the thumbnail, Mitch was giving Tom a piggyback yesterday, so I'd be surprised if there's any issue there.
Looks like Fred is gifting people.
Gifting memberships.
Thank you
Fred is
so
like
much, Fred.
Strongman Santa.
Hey, there's Fred as well.
Oh, there he is. Thank you so much, Fred. Hello all, I'm back. And what is Liz doing? I was playing peekaboo, apparently. No, I was trying to upload a video down there.
Fred,
Close
how
to
is
the
it
plug.
all going? Are you're at Worlds today, aren't
He's
you?
there, yeah.
I hope you're having fun.
Super Fred, as someone
Super
just
Fred.
said there.
Super Fred indeed. He's like a legend of Big Laws Official.
Yeah. And we're going to have to call Fred Pitt other Fred. Thank you for the super chat. Tom was just on a video on Moose's channel. Oh, LOL. Exactly.
Yes,
He was. I
I'm
saw that one.
Absolutely sure it's just mind games.
Yeah.
We all get on well, but when you're in competition, there are mind games that goes on, and there are people that you're invested in.
Yeah. Marco, thank you for the super chat. How and where can we purchase Rauno's deadlift ebook? It's available on
Shall I see if I can do a
www.laurencechatelain.co.uk.
link?
Yeah, you should be able to link it in there. So it's a 13-week deadlift plan and all of Rauno's wisdom when it comes to the deadlift. So it's for people who want to improve their deadlift, and we have the means in terms of the e-commerce store. So we said we would host for him.
Right, I am going to post a link, and I'll pin it for now, just in case people do want to support Rauno and take a look at the. There we go. I think I've pinned it.
Shoobidoo, thank you for the super chat. Thanks you two for your amazing coverage. Thank you for joining us. When does deadlift start? So how long, Lozzie? About 20 minutes? Are we expecting it?
I've heard they're doing some TV links. And yeah, I think it will be getting started fairly soon.
Lovely. Thank you, Kendo, for becoming a channel member. Can't see Mitch outside top 4 in each event except fingers. Fingers will be a very interesting
Fingers
one.
could be an interesting one. I think the great thing for Mitch now is he should go last on the deadlift. And I think it's one at a time. So he'll get to go dead last.
Yeah.
And that's a good position to be in. Because
actually, is it one at a time? Because when they did it in 2021, they had 2 out at a time. So we know they've got 2 of these setups.
Have you had the order since?
No. Well, we know the order is reverse order.
They're going reverse order, definitely.
Yeah, they are, definitely. But we don't know. We just don't know, actually, if it's
I'll find out.
Individual or 2 at a time. Deadlift 130, we're being told, which is 6:30 our time, which is in just over 20 minutes. So there we go. Very exciting. Wyatt, thank you for the super chat. Are the guys from the qualifiers eligible for the special Knaack trophy? What's your prediction for that one? Yeah, so that's the Tools of a Strongman trophy, which is like a man of the match, if you like, and could be any of the 30 athletes. So it's, Tools of the Strongman. So like attitude, perseverance, all that sort of stuff.
So it is head-to-head.
It is head-to-head, there you go. Yeah, so it's going to be over quite quickly once it does get going, because there's no real reset with a deadlift either, is there? Who do you think could win the Tools of the Strongman? I wouldn't be surprised if it was Brian or Mark.
Yeah, I think it could depend on where people place in the final, what happens. I think Rauno deserves to be within contention. Not saying he deserves to win it, but he definitely needs to be considered. I don't know if Mark already got an award. I think
he
Mark
got one last year.
Did Mark get the John Pollock award?
Yeah, he did last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's already had that. Maybe like a Brian Shaw. I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah.
There's so many athletes that are great and deserve awards for different reasons, but we'll see.
Tom, if World Strongest Man ever does a live broadcast, what would happen to the spreadsheet? We'd have a live watch party instead of a weight party.
Yeah, so we'll just be watching along with you. You guys will have it on your screens, we'll have it on our screens, and we'll just watch together.
And we can all freak out together.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Mango Fan said, thank you again for the super chat. If Shaw was to win, would you watch the live stream react to a video of the day of Brian waxing Eddie's beard with tagging?
I'd love to see that.
Pain scale predictions for such hilarity.
I think, could you imagine how much enjoyment Nick would get out of that?
Oh yeah, Nick is sick, isn't it? Nick
is
sick.
He's
lovely,
but Eddie likes being the trickster, and he likes kind of pranking people and doing stuff.
Nick would be
so
happy.
I think Brian would take a lot of joy out of that as well.
I think everyone but Eddie would.
Did you see when they arm wrestled and Brian was just like,
did he headbutt him?
I don't think Eddie expected.
I don't think anyone.
Brian was like getting into Brian mode.
Brian headbutt That's
That's a big old head that's
I
coming
know.
towards you.
I'd have been knocked clean out.
You would have. Good job, Eddie's pretty tough.
I wouldn't have put myself in that position. It was so funny.
I've seen like Eddie as well. He's got like the baby Brian kind of in the carrier. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
That's quite funny.
Bo, thank you for the super chat. Need to get rid of the stone off and go back to either sumo wrestling or tug of war. Oh my goodness.
I think get rid of all three.
No, we don't really see any man-on-man events now. The stone off is the closest it gets.
I had to do sumo wrestling in a team competition in Ukraine, and they make us wear these the traditional sumo belts. I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone in the comments will tell us. But
The
nobody needs to see strongmen in those.
No, they got some thick quad glutes there. I was going to say, Andy, I found your comment down here. Thank you for the super chat. What diameter log for a novice home gym, Lozzie? 8, 12 or 10?
I would go 10 to 12 just because that's more standard in competition. 8 is much smaller. You don't tend to have 8-inch logs in competition, particularly for men's competitions. So yeah, I'd be looking at a 10 to 12.
Mike, no, they haven't started yet. As soon as they have, we will know, and we will be bringing you live results as they happen. Fred just bought Rauno's book. Thank you so much, Fred.
Thank you very much, Fred.
Who's your favorite for the deadlift? Like there's 3 guys in the final who did 8 reps, which was the most out of anyone in the heat stages. So that was Trey, Mitch, and Brian. But Alexi's got to be up there as well. He won it on this setup before in 2021.
I think one of those
Tom, you would think, would do well as well.
I didn't see Tom's deadlift in the heats as he's going to threaten the deadlift win.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. He might have been holding back, but I think from what I've seen, his deadlift is slightly down now. Reps is different. I think the top end, it's definitely down. Maybe for reps, his conditioning is really good and he can get enough. But I think Trey, Mitch, and Novikov at least do more than Tom.
Yeah. Deadlift is 353 kilos for reps, and it's a slight deficit as well, a little bit lower than a standard height deadlift. Slim gyms are greasy, gross beef sticks aimed at children. Slim Gym should absolutely sponsor Evan Singleton. They used to sponsor pro wrestlers. Oh, there you go. Not because Evan is a gross, slimy, greasy person.
Evan's good. It's good to see him in the final. Good to see him enjoying it.
Definitely.
And he's got some good events as well still to come.
Yeah. Tom, thank you for the super chat. Finally joining you live. Been busy weeks. I've been desperately trying to catch up. You guys rock. Just bought VIP tickets to next year's Europes. Hope to meet you both there.
We will be there. Awesome.
100% be there. I love that venue and the Leeds First Direct Arena. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
You'll have a great night. Ricky, thank you for the super chat. Mitch Hooper for World Strongest Man 23. How is second event going? It's not started yet, Ricky.
So about 10 minutes, I reckon, till event number 2 starts. But yeah, it was the perfect start for Mitch.
Mitch is definitely a very serious threat.
The shield carry was one of those events we were looking at. Okay, best case scenario for Mitch, he wins. Worst case, I was like 4th. I knew that would be a good points event, and it went best case scenario.
And people asking why it's taken so long. It's been bad weather all morning. They've had lots of wind and rain to contend with, which has pushed everything back. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Joke for my 5, yo. Say, B, you have a smelly bottom. What?
B, you have a smelly bottom.
B, you have a smelly bottom. All right, you guys need to stop with all that nonsense.
I find it quite funny.
I won't say any old thing, just so you know. Who wins the bus pull?
That's going to be an interesting one because I would never have thought Novikov would have won the pull last year.
No.
So I think he has to be thought of as a contender. I think Tom Stoltman is a very, very good contender for the truck pull.
You want to hear my hot take?
I think Brian Shaw is a good contender. I would say one of those 3 wins the truck pull.
My hot take. Pablo Cordiaco wins the bus pull.
Well,
there you go.
As long as he doesn't
You
make a
heard
mistake.
it here first. Auntie Liz exclusive. Adaptive Android, thank you for the super chat. I know what ifs are irrelevant. It's just what actually happens on the day. But do you think JF could have won Worlds in 2020 if he wasn't bottom in the log that year?
Yeah, he could have if he won the log. But as you say, what ifs kind of, you can't really.
No,
if Pavlo
if
Pavlo crossed the line, maybe by the end of this competition he could win.
Yeah.
But
There are different examples.
There are
in
so
every
many
single
examples of
competition.
that
Yeah.
we could look at. That it's easy to say, what if we can all say, we can all take it even more extreme than that.
Yeah.
But you can't do anything about the what ifs. So you have to take the punches and roll with it and just fight as hard as you can.
This is funny. Sitting at World's Strongest Man in the VIP section watching us. Thank you so much, Coach Lake.
I hope you're having fun.
Yes. Christopher, thank you for the super chat. What would Dan be saying to Tom Stoltman after event 1, do you think, Lasse? I know what you'd be saying if it was one of your
think Dan will be happy. Like, the reality is he got 9 points. And Tom, how many events did he win last year? He didn't win.
One.
Yeah, he only won one event. He just needs to be consistent. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything too much to say to him. And you don't, like, if I was coaching Tom, I'd just be reassuring him that you got 9 points there. That's really, really good. There's no point at this stage saying, why the hell did you not keep pushing?
No, because done,
you don't want to put any negative thoughts in the athlete's head. Even when Mitch put it down at the Rogue, I wasn't saying to him, straight after, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
After the competition, we're like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
But right now, you need to focus on the positive. And the positive is Tom got 9 points. He could have only got 10. Now, us as analysts and as fans, we can kind of all talk about it, but he's done nothing terribly wrong. He's got a great start in the competition. He's got some great events to come. He's where he needs to be.
Can you see if you can find Ryan's comment, please? Ryan Jernigan, thank you so much for the super chat, but your comment is not attached to it. So Lasse is going to try and find you.
Ryan Jernigan.
Begins with J. Someone asking about the order. It will be reversed order from the last event. So Jaco Schoenwinkel will be up first with Matt Ragg, and it would be Mitch Hooper and Tom Stoltman in the final pairing. Mr. Gonzonator, thank you for the super chat. I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes.
We've had that one far too often.
Have we? God.
Yes, that's an old one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Aaron, thank you so much. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. Loss, have you ever had or trained someone during or after a, what's that?
Serratus muscle injury?
Oh, yes, maybe.
Serratus is
sartorius, it says to me.
Let me check.
Google it. Aaron, Lars is just coming back to you. Right, you Google that, and I'll do this one. Robert, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Eddie and Brian will go into commentating World's Strongest Man following this year? Personally, I think they'd make the perfect comedic duo. Don't know, because there's different commentary teams depending on where the competition is held. So right now, Eddie does presenting for Channel 5. Danny Wallace and Colin do commentary for Channel 5. And they've got different people again doing it in the USA and presenting for the USA. We used to have Sven Carlson do the presenting for Norwegian TV and other people commentating. So there's definitely scope to put together these different people because there's so many options, isn't there? Definitely. And opportunities at World's Strongest Man.
So the sartorius muscle is a thin, long, superficial muscle in the anterior compartment of the thigh. I've had people with groin issues in similar area. I'm not an expert in terms of like rehab specific muscles. So the advice I give people is to make sure you see a doctor and go and see a physio first. Then I will work with your physio based on what they recommend to rehab and also get you back to your lifting. So I would certainly think it's not going to be a huge issue in terms of recovery, but you need to make sure you're doing the right things, and people need to communicate so that your coach or you are not doing exercises that are going to damage it. You are going to have to look at movement in that area to try and strengthen it, but certainly something that can be worked on. Actually, an area that Mitch Hooper is very knowledgeable in. Maybe worth contacting him for something like
definitely.
that.
Pontus, thank you for the super chat. Good job covering World's Strongest Man. An idea for Stoneoff. Every point between second and third is worth one lift. And for the problem of 0.5, that's 5 burpees. I think some of those guys would rather lift a stone once and do 5 burpees.
I would.
Yeah,
I'd rather lift a stone
I think
5
5
times.
burpees is worse than doing 1 Atlas stone.
I looked at doing a high rocks competition.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the only thing that put me off was the burpees.
The burpees, yeah. Big men do not like to burpee, do they? But
I hate them.
yeah, I don't really. Well, we've been quite clear and transparent that we don't like the stone off format as it is.
No.
There you go. Hawkeye, thank you for the super chat. Dream competition: Team Shaw versus Team Chatelet. Call it the Shawley Showdown. That would be funny. Or like Brian's crew versus yours. Who would be on your crew?
Mitch,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby,
Yeah,
Rauno,
yeah. Ivers, Matesh.
I'd try and see if I can get Lissis on the team.
Yeah,
that would be good. Novikov,
yeah.
Pavlo.
Oh, there we go. This is it. Yeah, let's do it. There we go. Yeah. I like the sound of that. I wonder who Brian would have on his. He'd have a lot of American guys and who else?
We can fight over people.
Yeah, we have to fight. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Loz, I have ALSP. Oh, I've just picked up Rauno's book. Looking forward to sharing the results. Please have a bottle of cola on me. And thanks for the fab coverage. Thank you so
very,
much,
very
Thomas.
much, Thomas.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it. And I know Rauno does as well.
Yeah, why not the Chalet Showdown? Yeah,
there you go.
Works.
That sounds good.
That definitely works. Oh, I've just clicked on the same thing twice. Rick, thank you for the super chat. I don't know. I buy Loz's deadlift program, then Browno brings one out. I'll do both at the same time and lift 503 by the end of the year. Double your gains.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can do. I know you're joking, but there are people. I had a client message me this week, and he's a 250 kilo deadlifter, and he said, "Do you think I can be deadlifting 350 by the end of this year?" And I was like, "No." Yeah. Doesn't matter who coaches you. No, you need to be realistic about that progress. Let's remember, Rauno has taken 23 years to deadlift to 476 kilos, was it?
Yeah.
It takes a long time. It's not going to happen overnight. What you need to focus on, no matter who you are and what level you're at, is realistic progress. And then, like, you know, I get people come up to me and say, I want to be the best, but yet they're not willing to get their sleep. They're not willing to eat right. They're not willing to sacrifice in any areas, and they're saying they want to be the best. Yeah, you've got to kind of look at every single area and do things the right way. And still, you need to be realistic because genetics are important as well. If you focus on your next step, no matter what level you are, that is the best advice I can give anyone. So if you're a 250 deadlifter, don't put limits on how good you can be, but let's focus on 260.
Yeah.
And then you can get to 270, and then suddenly 300 starts becoming more realistic. If you say, I'm a 250 deadlifter and I want to be a 350 deadlifter, week in, week out, you're going to be failing because you're pushing too hard. Your body's going to start breaking down. You're going to go backwards. Yeah. Just be realistic, understand things take time, and you will consistently improve.
Brad, thank you so much for the super chat. I really have a good feeling for Mitch this year. He's had the perfect start. He's had
the perfect start. There is work to do. There's a lot of competition, but he's had a great start.
People saying it's raining again. I think they might still just plow through because deadlift and rain, it's not ideal, but it's also not the worst thing either, is it? We have seen them do deadlifts in the rain before.
Deadlift in the rain is no issue.
Yeah,
they're strongmen.
Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Any sign of Wuss returning? As it was, as the world's ultimate strongman, no. But Don Idris has expressed
other things that may happen. But right now, we know nothing for sure.
No. But it could come back as a completely different package or name or something. But we don't know, to be honest. El Prez Cat, thank you for the super chat. Bring back the loading race in the water. World's Strongest Man 2010.
Loading race in water. Like loading on sand is brutal. Loading on water is the worst. Is your phone buzzing then?
Just an email coming through. Nothing interesting.
We're waiting with bated breath.
Yes. Ray, any old thing, he's saying. Thank you, Ray, for super chatting that.
It's raining there, but they are apparently looking like they're going to start soonish.
Yes.
Fingers crossed we find out. Let's see if we have pushed these subscribers up.
Bo and Fab, welcome to Team Loz and Liz.
Right, guys, we're at 134,901 subscribers, 99 away from 135. If you haven't already, please go and give the subscription button a push.
Are you all right, mate?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was waiting to see what you were going to say.
You should be saying this kind of stuff. You know how
Should
terrible I am.
I know.
Yeah, you've got a nicer face to look at. You can kind of flutter your eyelashes. Be way better than me asking. I'm a
Since
big,
when,
grizzly, bearded man that no one wants to.
Flutter your eyelashes. You look very cute when you do it. Can't do it. See, look at that. Oh my goodness.
Now people are going to unsubscribe and we're going to lose a load of people watching.
Luna, thank you for the super chat. Which do you prefer more? Overhead, deadlift, squat for max weight or reps? Should I max weight or reps?
In terms of doing, I was very good at squatting for reps. I used to really enjoy squatting for reps. I was a bit sick. I used to like doing sets of 20 reps. I've done 252.5 kilos for 20 reps is my best. I don't know many people that have done more than that. That was raw without a suit.
So she's talking more about in a competition, what looks better.
Oh, what looks better?
Yes,
I think overhead looks the best, if I'm honest. Like how much you can lift from the floor to over your head.
But what do you think looks better, reps or max weight?
I like both.
Yeah, a combination of both.
I like both. And I think that's the great thing with Strongman is that we get that variety.
Yeah.
That's why I like Strongman more than powerlifting, because powerlifting is just the same every single time. Powerlifters are very strong, but they're technically superb in 3 lifts.
Yeah.
Strongmen are a jack of all trades, if you like. They might not excel and be the absolute best at individual lifts, but they're so good at so many things. You know, you need to be able to throw, you need to be able to squat, deadlift, and press. You need to be able to pull a truck, flip a car, you know, move with weights on your back. There's so many more elements to it, and that's why I enjoy it. It's more fun. It's more interesting to do, and it's varied. So every competition is a little bit different.
Thank you for our new members and for whoever is in the gifting memberships as well. Very, very generous and kind.
Shall I see?
This is like a new thing, isn't it? People gifting memberships.
Never happened before.
No. What have we got here? Anthony, thank you for the super chat. Listen to Liz and Loz during my workout instead of my usual metal music. Got to get bicep, tricep in today. Well done, Anthony.
Get those arms worked hard.
And the second things get started, you guys are obviously going to be the first to know.
Right. One of my friends that's there is getting wet, so we should send him a
selfie.
Yeah. That's all dry.
Is this Jose? Thank you for the super chat. The ref gave Pav the okay signal. Ref's fault, not Pavlo's. That's it.
Yeah. Like if that is the case, then that's bad. I'm not there. I haven't seen what's going on, so I don't want to comment just yet because I'd like to know more details. But if that is the case, yes, that is awful.
Yeah, not good, especially with such a severe punishment.
Law's rule book
For
for Strongman.
There we go.
Doesn't need to be me that writes it, but we need to sit down with the right people and come up with an official rules for Strongman.
Just a picture of your grumpy face on the cover will be fine. Dwayne, thank you for the super chat. I feel the extra stone off took toll on Brian's shield carry, extra bicep and hamstring work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You go for it. But yeah, it could well have that 11 reps with those stones. Brutal. And his glutes, his hamstrings, his lower back are all going to be fatigued, biceps as well. And like I said, the day of rest doesn't help because it's the day after that you feel that more. So he's going to be feeling it today. But all the athletes will feel fatigue in some form and they need to keep fighting. You know, it's so easy for us to look at things from one athlete's perspective, but they will all be sore. They will all be, you know, by the end of this competition, they're all going to have absolutely given everything and going to be feeling it. But yes, without question, those stones will be taking its toll on the athletes. And that's another reason why I don't like them, because the athletes that have gone in first place do have a big advantage because they haven't had to expend that kind of energy. And, you know, it's a completely different competition from the qualifying heats. So you could be the second, like Tom Stoltman has won World's Strongest Man and qualified from second position before. 2 different competitions. It is tough. Stop grammar time. Thank you very much for the super chat. I can't see if you actually, here we go. Loz has helped me so much with my injury. After tearing my quad tendon, I thought I was done for. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's I guess because I've had so many injuries, I know that you can come back from them. And what I tend to do, I'm not like an expert in terms of like a physio will be, but I try and find out as much as I can about the individual athlete. And then we look at ways to get them rehabbing. One of the best things you can do is get movement back into any area. Just because you've had an injury does not mean it's all over. I know so many strongmen and athletes in different sports that have been told they will never lift again or never do sport again, and they do. So we look at finding ways.
So we're being told it's still due to start at 5:30, which is in like 1 minute. So we will see.
Henrik John, thank you for the super chat. Hey, could you give your insight into what good genetics are? Powerlifting focus. Good genetics are the natural ability that people have. Like, I'm going to be as crude as anything right here, but people are born differently. Some people are tall, some people are shorter, some people have thicker joints. So like the thickness of their wrists is much bigger than maybe someone else. That to a degree can be worked on, but the ability for someone to respond to training is based on genetics as well. So not everyone is the same. We're all flesh and bone, but some people, if you look at them, they just naturally have a more advantageous physique to do certain things. Runners, swimmers, bodybuilders, you know,
length of your muscles, stuff like
density of your muscles, connection points of tendons, for instance. I'll give you a good example myself. I have about an extra half an inch in terms of tendon length on my knees. I never knew this until I got them scanned, and the doctor said I'm like an orangutan.
I could have told the doctor that.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I was so good at the yoke, is because that stability in my knees was better than most. Weirdly, Mitch Hoop has the same thing. You know, both of us have trained to be better. So we've trained a certain way and it's made us better, but genetically we had a higher starting point. So leverage, you know, you look at some of the best pressers in the world, they have shorter arms. If you look at Dan Bell, who's an his humerus is shorter. Femur is shorter than some other athletes. So all these kind of mechanics make a big difference in terms of lifting. And when you look at guys that are good at things, often they're built a certain way, and that's why they're good at things. And a lot of people will say, oh, your deadlift's weak, just train it more. Well, you might train it more and it might not improve that much. So every athlete has different strengths that they're naturally good at.
Coach Lake is saying that the wind is picking up and dark clouds and rain. Oh, it's not looking good for getting the fingals done today at all, but we will wait and see until we have word on it.
Rag and Yakko will be the first two coming out.
It is going to be the second event. Oh, and it looks like
things are happening.
Coming out
we'll
now.
Be back with you guys in a second.
Yeah.
And we'll
And Loz, thank you for the super chat there. Are you worried Mitch has tired his arms out with how hard he had to work on that carry? Could it affect his overhead or fingers?
No, I'm not worried. Mitch is at World's Strongest Man, and if he wants to win, he's going to have to dig deep. There's no tactics going on right now. He's just got to fight hard. The only time tactics can happen are if the table kind of allows us to think more about tactics. But these early events, you've just got to give 100%. It's World's Strongest Man. You don't hold back. He's not good enough at some of these events to hold back. He needs to give 100% and do what he can to do in terms of recovery in between.
So Yakko and Matt Rag are out on the floor. It is absolutely chucking down by the looks of it. Wow, it's definitely raining.
So who's this?
Yakko and there's Matt Rag. If I count Matt's reps, you count Yakko's. Deal?
Which one's Yakko?
This is Yakko.
Okay, so I'm counting Yakko.
You count Yakko. I'll call Matt. I can't really see the referee, so it would be very hard.
I don't know that we're going to be able to really count.
No, because we can't see the referee's down signals, but we can tell you what's happening.
Smash the like button, guys, indeed, and the subscribe button as well.
No, thank you for the super chat. Rain sequence of events can be the... Oh, hold on. We may have to come back to you in a second. All right, they're not at the bar yet.
Brian could definitely come top 1 or 2 in the fingers. He could. I have him as favorite for the fingers. I really do. I think he's going to be very hard to beat on that one.
Yeah.
Are they not at the bar yet?
They're not at the bar yet. They're not strapped up. So we'll just wait till they are. And in the meantime, they're not going to want to keep them out there long though, because it is raining.
Yeah.
Kieran, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Mitch has fatigued himself too much on the shield?
No.
No.
Short answer, but no. Spoke to him. He's okay. He's beat up from already doing 6 events, but he's fine.
The guys are starting to get strapped up now. We'll see. How exciting.
So who's this? Matt Rag.
We've got Matt Rag and
Jacco
Jacco Schoonwinkel as the first pairing on the Knaack Deadlift for reps.
2 guys that were in OSG.
They're
and
lifting.
Now they're at World's Strongest Man.
1 lift each.
Ooh,
One more lift for Matt Rag.
Both on 2.
Both on 2. Both on
3.
3.
Yep. Looking good. These Knaack toolboxes could look quite wobbly. There's quite a bit of whip in the bars.
4. Jacco happened to hold his up there a little bit.
Looks like
both on 5
each. We'll give you like official results.
Oh, Jacco going ahead with 6.
Jacco struggling to lock out though.
Oh yes,
he's
hasn't
kind of really
locked.
hitching
Oh no,
it.
he's
I
gone
don't
down.
think he got that.
I don't think Matt Rag did either.
So that's that 4 or 5 each.
5 each at this moment, assuming that wasn't a given rep for either of them.
The bars are quite long and they're quite big toolboxes that are really whipping up and down.
Yeah.
So the athletes that are trying to hitch, it's not
Matt Rag's
necessarily
trying again.
Working too well. Matt Rag is stuck on his legs. He's trying to hitch it. I think he's going to.
He's got the down signal.
There.
So we think that's 6 for Matt Rag right now and 5 for Jacco possibly. Jacco's getting strapped in again.
I don't think Jacco's got another rep in him.
No.
Matt Rag is going to leave it there.
Yeah, Jacco's going. Oh no.
You could see after the rep before that he didn't have enough energy in him.
So it's 5 for Jacco, 6 or 7 for Matt Rag. I'm not sure about that second from last one.
We'll get the official results through.
El Prez Cat, thank you for the super chat. Challenge Mitch with the eat like Shaw for one day. Mitch does not like eating on camera, does he? No, he finds it quite perverse. Although I think I saw a thumbnail of him eating the other day, so that's hypocritical. Scotty, thank you.
So 5 for Jacco, 7 for Rag.
7, so he did get that other one. It was hard to see, to be honest. Sort of pixel lifting.
Does being good at conventional deadlift automatically mean you're good at Knaack deadlift? Yes. If you are good at conventional deadlift, you will be good at any deadlift. Like people kind of overthink training specific deadlifts. If you deadlift and you squat, so you get your back and your legs strong, you can adapt to any deadlift. People massively overthink this way too much.
Yeah.
It might be important at a top level to get used to a bar or something, but just focus on getting your deadlift stronger.
Rooster, thank you for the super chat. If the day is washed out, could the comp be pushed to Monday? No chance of that happening because the guys are all booked in to fly home on Monday.
Yeah, so the comp will be finished tomorrow.
Yeah, if it means doing 4 events tomorrow, then that's like a worst case scenario. There's no way they'll go into Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next will be Brian and Luke. No,
Luke
Brian...
was Brian was 8th, Luke was 7th. So yes, Brian versus Luke Stoltman, which would be an interesting pairing.
Brian should do well. Luke, this is probably his worst event, I'd say, in the final. Do you think?
Deadlift is his worst event, yeah.
But I think he could maybe match
Pablo.
Well, 5,
yeah,
maybe 6.
Yeah.
Brian, we could be looking closer to double figures.
I think double figures for Brian based off of how his deadlift looked in the heats. That was very strong.
Also, Brian's quite strong in the lockout, which will help him with that kind of whip.
Yeah.
Brian's not really a hitcher, which is going to help. You don't want to hitch this bar too much.
Zach, what does this mean for Brian with 3 points? It means
it's early days. It wasn't the best start, but it's not over. You know, this competition is wide open. Let's see how he does on the deadlift, because for me, the fingers is a banker for him. If he can be top 3 on this one, he's going to call himself some points back.
Luana, thank you for the super chat. I'm here now. It's raining a lot and people are leaving. It's such
sad.
A shame that the weather is taking this turn.
I've been told it's not been a great fan experience with the weather.
No.
You know, from the pictures we've been sent.
I know. It looks awful, to be honest. I've seen people sitting in trees, climbing ladders. It's in the rain. It's not much fun. Cole, thank you for the super chat. Should front carry rule be 2 feet need to pass the line so everyone will pass it and there is no chance of skipping it? Yeah, sorry. Well, essentially that's what it was. But the problem is when you've got something in front of you like that, you can't actually see the feet.
The best way to really sort it would be like a post that you've got to go around. That would be the best way to not have to worry about it. Have like a track that they go around, or a cone or something simple like that. I think
something tall enough.
Make something better than a cone, but that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be
make it look good. But I think that would be the fairest way.
What we got here? Ray, thank you for the super chat. Sorry, Auntie Liz, for getting you to say any old thing, but seriously, you guys should be doing this from World's Strongest Man 2024 and getting guests interviews. That would
Thank
be
you
super cool.
very much, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. Maybe not in the rain though. I want to be somewhere dry.
Yeah.
The Francie Brady, thank you for the super chat. Considering weather has been an issue before and the fact that they could have predicted it, the lack of contingencies by World's Strongest Man is very unprofessional. See, they said they had a plan in place. And I've seen people say, oh yeah, they'll go indoors. They won't. Like, it would have to be almost a life or death situation for them to go indoors, because it's the last thing.
I've been told the weather is supposed to be okay tomorrow.
The weather's supposed to be great tomorrow. Yeah.
So I think worst case, they'll do 4 events tomorrow, but we'll wait and see. You know, let's get the deadlift. They're underway with the deadlift. Let's see what happens here. And then we'll find out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is part of the problem with outdoor competitions.
Yeah.
Galayat, thank you for the super chat. Just wanted to take this opportunity to remind people that you shouldn't try to push as hard as strongmen if you do not have the same genetics. If you have thin bones, you will not be as resistant as them.
Yeah. You know, like I said to everyone, whether you're the best genetics in the world or you're a complete beginner, focus on your progress. It's, you know, I like playing darts. I'm not going to be the next Phil Taylor. You know, there's plenty of people out there that love running. They're not going to be the next Usain Bolt, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's, if you enjoy a sport, do it because you enjoy it. Don't kind of get into a sport just thinking, I'm going to be the best. That's the worst reason to do it, because the minute you start pushing to that extreme and you start failing, which 99.99% of us will, you're going to stop, or you're going to get hurt, or you're going to kind of, you know, something bad's going to happen. You've got to do it for fun first, then see where you get to. You may have great genetics. You may develop really quickly. You might have terrible genetics, but it doesn't mean you can't get better.
Pete, thank you for the super chat. Are you coming to Cardiff for Rebecca Roberts Classic?
Rebecca Roberts Classic?
Yeah, we would love to come for that. We'll have to find out when it is, because I don't know when it is.
Brian and Luke are stepping up.
Here we go. So we will know more in a second. But yes, let us know when it is. We would love to come just to support Rebecca more than anything, because she's a good friend.
Yeah.
Rich, thank you for the super chat. Loz bragging about his extra inch. Auntie smiling for a reason.
Sadly, not so blessed about those extra inches.
Lozzie. I never would have said that about you. You stitch yourself up. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. Any chance Brian intentionally didn't push on the shield because of stones he lifted so he could excel in the rest of the comp? Brian left it all out on the field from what we could see.
The way we saw it, he pushed the limit.
Yeah. So, like, it's the final now. It's all or nothing. It's not really about being tactical at this point. Like, they just have to give 100% on every event.
Like I said, early on in a comp, you can't hold back.
No.
You need to give it. It's not an event you can hold back on.
No.
The only time you can hold back is if you go towards the end and you think, okay, I can't beat that guy, but if I beat this guy, then I'm just going to do that and stop.
But
you can be tactical like that, but going out early, you've just got to push.
Yeah, and also he was in the first pairing, so he didn't have the luxury of knowing how far everyone else was going or how far they'd gone.
Any news? Here we go.
We're about to get some. Ooh. Goodness, sorry, my computer's ringing. There we go. So we've got Brian's lifting. Okay, so Luke's gone up. Brian, that might be Brian's second rep.
Is Brian's this side
third rep? Yeah.
Luke's working hard here. He's doing well. Luke's hitching a bit more than Brian, but both going well.
Brian's looking solid.
Brian's just being typical Brian, patient, kind of really thinking about each rep. He's looking tired, though, to be fair. Those glutes are not firing as well as they were perhaps in the qualifying stages.
Luke is down.
I think Luke maybe is done. Brian is going for another rep. Can he get those hips through? He's having to hitch as well. Don't often see Brian hitching a deadlift. Luke is done.
Luke's done.
Brian is down to one knee. I think he's just trying to get some air in before he goes for another rep. Not sure how many he's on.
No, we'll find
We'll
that out.
We'll give you guys the official results as soon as we know. Luke is struggling. I think Luke is completely done there. I'm not sure how many he's got, 3 or 4. Brian still down there. He's not pulled. Here we go. Another rep. Nope.
No, he's leaving it there.
I think Brian is feeling those stones, if I'm totally honest.
There we go. Rauno did a number on him.
Rauno?
On the stone off.
Oh, yeah.
Rauno. What's
Rauno doing in the final?
No. Fred, thank you for the super chat. Kimabo loading race in a ball pit with the implements hidden in the balls. I like this idea. Oh, Fred seems to be having a conversation with someone. Loading race in a ball pit.
Wow.
Fred, that's dreadful. Unga, thank you for the super chat. Oh, I don't know what this says. What do you think it says?
I don't know.
Yako. Oh, I'm not going to read it out loud
Thank you
I
very
might
much for the
accidentally
super
offend
chat.
you. But yeah, I'm guessing that's Afrikaans.
Okay, Luke got 3.
Okay.
Brian got 7. So
Ooh,
Brian is into the
interesting.
lead. I did expect more from Brian.
Yeah.
I think he is feeling it, but he is currently in the lead. So we'll see with.
Although didn't Matt Ragg also get 7? 7 for Matt and 5 for Yako.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
So he's tied with Ragg.
He's tied with Ragg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
don't think that's a winning number.
That's not going to be a winning number. No. Beth, thank you for the super chat. Just bought gold VIP tickets to Europe's Strongest Man 24. That's awesome. We look forward to seeing you there in person.
See you there.
Harry, thank you for the super chat. Just watched The Shield. A bit of arrogance by Tom, and Mitch did everything he could to make him pay for it. Shame. I'm a big Stoltman fan.
Yeah, I don't know that it was arrogance.
A moment of madness, maybe?
Yeah, I think more just lost his head a little bit in terms of maybe.
I don't know if maybe he forgot that there were 2 more groups to
that
go
was
after
the
him
interesting
as
thing,
well.
because I understand him looking over thinking, oh yeah, Mitch is beat.
Yeah.
But you've still got other people to come.
Yeah.
And people that you know are good at carrying things. I would have expected him to just, if he could, but I don't know. Maybe it slipped. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We don't know the ins and outs of it. But at the end of the day, Tom's still got 9 points, and that's a good start.
Fab, your comment is not attached and I cannot find it anywhere. But if we miss it, then just type it again in caps and we will try and pick it out. Fab should be an easy name to find. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, thanks for keeping me company during my man cold. How come the Nordic countries are slacking today? Swedes, Finns, and Norwegians were more represented some years ago. Thanks from Sweden.
Yeah, there's been some amazing athletes from Finland, from Sweden, from Norway. Obviously, all those countries have produced world champions before. There are some good athletes up and coming in those countries, but it's just been a little bit of a hiatus in terms of top level.
Yeah, the problem is as well, if competitions aren't being televised in those areas, then we see less athletes come through because there's less exposure for the sport and less inspiration for people coming in. But it would be great to see some of those guys in competitions like OSG Europes that we've got this summer, which, you know, OSG last year we got 3 guys from that podium who are competing at World's Strongest Man, 2 in the final.
Yeah. I think because they're doing the European one, we may see some better athletes from these different regions.
Definitely. All right, we're just trying to catch up a little bit.
Next up, we have
Robert. Thank you for becoming a member.
And Pavlo.
Evan and Pavlo.
So Evan could do well.
Yeah, I would expect Evan to do well here. Pavlo.
This is an event I expect Pavlo to struggle more on.
Luke get 3 reps.
Luke got 3. Yako got 5. We'll see.
I think 4 or 5 would be about it for Pavlo, to be honest. But we will see. He might have a new risen nounder.
Truck pulling sand would be impossible. It wouldn't go anywhere. It would just be. It would just be ridiculous.
It would get stuck.
Like even on grass, it's so much harder. It makes it look way harder than on like a solid surface. So yeah, I don't want to see a truck pulling sand.
Thank you for your super chat. A Goose, thank you for the chat. Hey, Liz and Loz, I compete in Greco and freestyle wrestling.
Greco and freestyle wrestling.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is. For weight training, we focus on the Olympic style lifts. Is there anything that I should incorporate from Strongman? Phenomenal coverage. Thank you.
Probably more of the like explosive movements in Strongman. Tire flips are pretty good for rugby players and MMA fighters. They tend to use things like that. Farmers carries. The more athletic type events are more beneficial, even like an out of stone to the shoulder or sandbag to the shoulder, sandbag throws, kettlebell throws, those type of movements much more beneficial to you than say deadlifting, squat. I mean, squatting's good. I would go more Olympic style squatting than powerlifting style. But yeah, all those kind of like moving events, much more beneficial.
Hold on. I meant to click on this. Rich, thank you for the super chat. Is World's Strongest Man. Oh, hold on. We will be back to you in a second. We've got the next pairing out, Pavlo Cordiaca versus Evan Singleton. Oh, Evans is getting himself psyched up by the looks of it. Pavlo's waiting at the bar.
Pavlo closest.
Yeah. We will see how this goes.
See what they can do.
Evan is
getting himself fired up the way Evan does. I love it. I love seeing Evan get psyched up.
Oh, he's just headbutted Colin Bryce. Joking, I'm sorry.
That would have been so funny if that was true.
Nothing personal, Colin.
Yeah, we love you, Colin, but yeah, that would have been funny.
It would. Oh, that's it.
Right.
Here we
What
go.
is happening here? They're getting strapped in.
Right. Referees ready. Athletes ready. And lift.
Here we go. Easy first rep for Evan. Good solid rep for Pavlo as well.
Yep. Second rep for Evan. Second rep
2
for
each.
Pavlo. Third rep for Pavlo.
Pavlo's on 3. Evan's on 3.
Evan.
Yep.
Oh, Pavlo looking dizzy. Dizzy Pavlo.
Stepping back.
Yeah.
He's
Referee,
not okay.
no, Colin's running to him. 4th rep for Evan.
Evan's on
He's a bit
4. I'm not
dizzy.
sure what's up with Pavlo there. He's walking back to the bar. He's on 3.
5 reps for Evan.
Evan's not locked out yet.
Sorry.
There we go. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I know. Sorry, he's pulling his 5th rep.
Yeah. Evan's on 5. Pavlo is on 3. But Pavlo, he did
dizzy.
3 pretty well, but then he stepped back and he was all over the place.
might have
But he's
forgotten
getting
to
himself
breathe.
strapped in now.
Evan, what's going on with Evan?
I think Evan is stuck on 5. Don't think he's doing any more. Can Pavlo get one more?
Evan looks a bit gassed over there.
Pavlo is trying the 4th. He's hitching. Can he lock out?
Yes.
Does he get the down signal? We need to wait and see.
Ref's hand.
It's either 5 for Evan and 4 or 3 for Pavlo. We'll bring
Maybe 7 was very good then, because
Yeah,
I would have
7 is looking
expected
good.
more than that for Evan. There we go. Is World Strongest Man ever a good fan experience? Only hear bad things in regards to watching. Sure, the athletes are accessible, and
I've always
hear
told people
spectators
to go to one of the Giants live shows over Worlds in terms of if you want to enjoy.
Or the Shore Classic if you're in America.
Shore Classic, yeah.
Arnold's is good as well.
Okay.
You've got other stuff going on.
Evan got 5.
Pavlo got 4.
Pavlo got 4.
Interesting. So what do we have so far? Luke on 3.
Then we've
Pavlo
got,
on 4, Evan and Yako on 5, Matt Ragg and Brian Shaw on 7.
There we go.
There we go. There's going to be lots of tied points here.
So, yeah, I think maybe this lower bar, making it a bit tougher than last year.
Struggling with it. Megan, I cannot see your comments. So we're now looking for Fab and Megan.
Let me quickly look at...
Rob, thank you for the super chat. Do competitors tend to train more on certain events leading up to World's Strongest Man? Guess it's hard to be perfect on every event.
So I'm just going to, before we answer that, the deadlift is way harder this year because it was the Knaack Deadlift last year.
Yeah, no, 2021 it was.
No, last year.
Last year they did a car deadlift.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Sorry. That's so when was the last
2021 final.
2021 final.
Sorry, I just got to let my cat in. She's crying. Here we go.
So last time Brian did 9. He's the only person that we can really compare.
Yeah, no one else.
Oh, Luke Stoltman.
Luke was in the final.
Luke did 6 last time and only did 3 this time. So I'm guessing it's tougher this year.
It seems to be tougher, yeah.
It seems to be like an inch lower, and that's making a difference.
Do competitors tend to train more on certain events? Guess it's hard to be perfect on every event.
Yes, certain athletes. There's certain things athletes will train all year long, such as deadlifting, pressing. Those type of movements you just tend to keep into training all the time because there's so much carryover to lots of strongman events. You need to keep those movements strong. They're your power movements. I tend to keep kind of most of the time there'll be some kind of squat, some kind of press, some kind of pull in people's training. The things, more specific events tend to be more as and when needed rather than all the time. But things like Atlas stones tend to crop up a lot. Farmers, yokes, those type of events are much more regular, particularly at lower level because they're easy to set up in competitions. Things like truck pulls, very rare that people will do those type of events. Arm over arms, normal truck pulls, power stairs. Those type of events don't turn up that much. So athletes aren't going to be training those all year long.
There you go. Fan experience has been awful, says Rocker. Can't see, can't hear, etc. They really need to improve this. I'd rather not come out here at this point, to be honest. It's such a shame.
Strongest Man, hopefully they do watch these back and appreciate the feedback. And we need to give them the feedback. They need to know. Yeah, we'll tell them. Because that's what we want. We want it to get bigger and better. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's where we want it to be right now.
And even if it's free to attend without the VIP, you still pay in your travel, your food, your hotel, all that sort of stuff. So people are investing money into being there. So we want people to have a great time when they're there. Definitely. It's on the 10th of June, Lozzie, the Rebecca Roberts Classic. Apparently one of your athletes is doing it, one of your clients. There you go.
I can't remember every single event that we're at, never mind
No,
every
that's true.
single event that my athletes are at.
Yeah.
I tend to just write down the events and the dates, not necessarily the names of the competitions.
All right, so we're showing how far behind we are now. Mr. Burns, thank you for the super chat. Let's go now, Brian. Time
Trey
for
and Novikov are up next.
Liz is cheering for you. LOL. By the way, Smithers wants to say hello too.
Hey,
Hello,
Smithers.
Mr. Burns and Smithers. Thank you. I want to see Brian do well. I do. I want him to be happy with how he ends it at the World's Strongest Man. I think we all want that for Brian. He's been such a huge ambassador for the sport.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
for the athletes as well. Great advocate for them.
Do we think we'll see Iron Bibby at World's Strongest Man ever?
I don't think so, to be honest.
I would love to see him train for it. Do you know what I want to see Bibby do? Is go do some full competitions. I don't think he deserves an invite to World's Strongest Man ever again unless he goes and earns it. And we see him at other competitions. If he goes to Giants Live and does really well, then yes, I'd love to see him at a World's Strongest Man.
It's such a huge expense to take people out there.
I don't want to see people turning up and not competing. And okay, he may genuinely be really hurt, but it's happened a few times now. And he didn't compete in anything to lead up to get this invitation.
Well, you could argue that he qualified in 2021 and then didn't go in 22.
Too long ago.
Yeah,
I want to say, if he gets invited again, I want to see. And I really like Iron Bibby, but you can't just say,
no,
because he's your friend, come to World's Strongest Man.
He's not my friend.
No, I'm just saying that.
Right.
Like, I'm saying and that's why I'm being quite harsh about it.
Yeah.
He needs to go and compete and show that he's there, and then. Absolutely. If he backs up what he can do, then yeah.
Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. How much do you think working so hard with the shield could affect Mitch and Novikov on the deadlift? Could turn out to be smart from Tom not pushing it?
We'll find out in a few minutes.
We will find out.
I don't think it will bother Mitch or Novikov. They're two of the fitter athletes.
They recover very quickly. Fiona, thank you for the super chat. Sad that only 6% of your subs are women. It used to be
0.5%. So we are glad there are so many more women that are enjoying the channel, and hopefully a lot of that is thanks to Liz.
Thank you. Here's to the strongman loving ladies, especially Auntie Liz, a great ambassador for the sport. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we need more women. Do you know what though? Even though a smaller percentage of our viewership is women. In terms of ticket sales, it's mostly women that buy tickets and spend money on Strongman.
Women are just more generous than men, I guess.
We like to shop.
Yeah.
Is that your roundabout way of saying
like
that?
a lot of women will buy tickets for their partners, is what I'm saying.
It's true. Yeah. Gift ideas and stuff like that. Okay. We're just waiting for the next pairing, which will be, who will it be?
It's Novikov and Trey next.
Oh, that's
so
an interesting one.
This could be a good one. We'll really know how good Brian's performance was after this. I mean, he's joint first at the moment.
With Matt Ragg, there's been
I think potentially these two are two athletes that you'd look at that could beat that.
Yeah, definitely.
But we shall see.
We'll see how hard it is based off of once everyone's done it, really.
Trey's an amazing deadlifter, and Novikov is great for reps. So.
Zango, thank you for the super chat. You guys are nuts for being on live so long. Thank you for doing so much for doing it. Will you be at the Albert Classic in July?
Yes, we will.
100%.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yes.
It was where I did my last competition. It's an amazing venue.
Yeah.
It's a really fun show, and you guys will have a blast there.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Come and say hi to us so we get to meet you in person.
Big Cats, thank you for the super chat. Some people don't know how bad Brian's leg injury was. That slowed his training down. These were the two events he was going to struggle more with anyways.
I don't think we can say that about the deadlift. His deadlift in the heats was unbelievable. He really smashed it. I think he's just fatiguing now and it's getting harder, but he's still done well. The shield, obviously not where he wanted to be. And yeah, I mean, it was awful that he got the infection back in January, but he's had some amazing training since then. But it's not ideal. But every athlete, Rauno was in hospital. He's not said that publicly, but Rauno was in hospital. He just didn't say anything.
No,
and that was actually only a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And all the other athletes will have issues that they've had to deal with. It's very easy that we see the top guys and just think it's just them. But every one of the 30 guys at World's Strongest Man will have kind of had obstacles to overcome during prep.
Andy, thank you for becoming a member. And also, Rob, thank you for the super chat. Which finalist do you think could be elite in another sport? Also, cheers for all the work you put in. I have zero engagement with World's Strongest Man if it wasn't for you.
A lot of them could. You know, but one thing about great athletes is they're great for a reason, and they will turn their training to do something specifically. But all of them will have the capability of being good at other things. You see great athletes, and if they were to focus on other sports, they could be great.
Yeah.
A lot of the top strongmen have come from various different sports. You know, Thor and Brian, both very good basketball players.
Yeah.
Mitch Hooper, believe it or not, was almost like a pro golfer.
Oh, yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
And he's run marathons, and he's done lots of sports to a decent level. I was high level in a number of sports. Terry Hollands was. You find that being athletic, you can then adapt your training to whatever it is that you want to do sometimes.
Yeah. A better you, thank you for the super chat. Any thoughts from a rules perspective on Evan actually shaking the bar while Aethel was trying to lift the stone over it during the stone off? Sounds like Evan, doesn't it?
I don't think there's anything in that to read.
No, I think it's probably not in the rule book because they don't expect people to do it. But I think maybe they should have, if they didn't, we don't know, we weren't there, said, Evan, don't touch the bar while the other athlete's lifting. So be interesting to learn more about that.
They should be coming out next, or very, very soon. I think the referees are just giving the last instructions.
Okay, David, 6,000 people watching and only 1,600 likes. Please like the video while you are here. If you are enjoying getting your results this way, here we go.
Something's happening.
So we've got Trey Mitchell and Alexei Novikov.
Guys, we're on 134,999 subscribers. Please, if you haven't already, go and hit that subscription button. It means a lot to us. It would be great to go over 135,000.
Okay, just doing the
who's
intros.
this? This is Trey Mitchell.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Trey and Alexei.
Evan, he was in the last one.
I know, I get carried away. Okay.
So they are just stood up. They're not strapped in yet. So maybe 30 seconds before we get going.
Yeah.
Evan versus, this could be good. Two very, very good deadlifters here. Two favorites for the whole competition.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm genuinely nervous now.
I know. I'm getting anxious as well.
Nervous for the guys. Nervous to see what happens. Obviously nervous for Mitch as well.
Here we go. They're lifting.
And Trey is up already. Novikov's not lifted yet. Two for Trey. Novikov getting started now.
One for Alexei.
Three for Trey.
Two for Alexei.
You say Alexei's, I'll say Trey's.
Okay.
So Trey is pulling hard. Trey on
3
4
for
reps.
Alexei.
Both stopped at the bottom there. Alexei's
4
going.
for Alexei.
Trey has got 5 locked out.
5 for Alexei.
5 each, I think. 6 for Trey. This is good. He's looking tough, though. This is a hard deadlift.
This is obviously hard.
Both on 6 right now. Can they match the 7? It's showing that Brian wasn't bad at all.
7, actually.
And nor was Matt Rack.
Yeah. Oh, Alexei's pulling.
Can he get this? He's struggling there.
Oh,
Trey's going to lock this. Can he lock the knees out?
7. No. Did he? Yes, I think so.
I don't know.
I don't think Alexei got that last lift, the 7th.
Wow.
Interesting. So it looks like Brian and Matt
Brian is doing well.
Holding up very well indeed.
Brian not doing too bad.
Hold on, Trey's still going. No, let's put it down. Sorry.
I want to see the official results because I'm not sure if they were given down signals then.
No, it's very hard to see the refs.
We'll get the results through in a second.
GP, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Evan would have done better on the deadlift if Pablo didn't receive the penalty earlier and Evan was paired with Trey instead of Pablo?
No,
because he will not be looking at the guy next to him.
Honestly, Evan gave everything. Deadlift is one of those events that you just give everything.
Yeah.
Apparently, Trey got 7.
Okay, and I think
Novikov potentially 6.
Alexei 7 as well.
7 for both.
The video was glitching at the lockout, so it was impossible to tell if it was locked out or not. So that's that's a lot of split points for 7 reps there.
This is, I'm thinking hypothetically here. But if Mitch can get 8, it's going to give him a huge advantage. Same for Tom. If Tom can get 8, because we've now got 4 athletes on 7.
Yeah.
They are going to get much more points ahead because I'm guessing there's not timed. It's just split points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it will be split points.
So if that is the case and Tom or Mitch can get 8 reps, they will get a big advantage over the rest of the athletes. So they both have no option other than to go for this.
Be happy. Thank you for the super chat. We are at World's Strongest Man, and the spectator experience is awful. We have VIP tickets. Can't see anything unless the front row. Way too much money for a horrible experience.
That's horrible to hear.
Terrible.
I'm sorry to hear that,
I
guys.
know.
Really am.
I wish we were there to look after you. Try and make it better. That is bad though, because I know those VIP tickets are not cheap. But we will definitely make sure you do too. You have to complain, tell them what the experience has been like for you, and we will too. We promise, because that's not good.
Yay! We've gone over 135,000 subscribers.
Yay,
so thank you
everyone.
all for subscribing.
6,000 people watching, only 200 likes. I'm guessing a 0 has been dropped there, because I'd be concerned. But thank you, Toby, for the timely reminder. Tom, your comment is not connected to your super chat, but we will keep an eye out for you, Tom McMullen, as well as Fab.
Hooper and Tom are getting ready.
Who was your best friend on the competition floor, says Nico? Presumably when you were competing yourself, Lozzie. Who was your best friend?
I don't have a best friend when I was competing, but I got on with a lot of athletes. Johannes Aho I really liked. All the British guys, a lot of the Americans, JF Caron, Rauno, Magnus. Well, we get on with Magnus Ver really well now. I wasn't competing against him.
I was going to say, how old are you?
I'm just trying to feel like Rob Frampton.
Yeah.
Aaron Page, for a lot of you that know Aaron, he used to come and train with me a lot, bit more when I was coming to the end of my career. Like me and Terry have always got on, but there was like a lot of beef made between us, by Colin Bryce. But for pretty much most of our career, we got on very well. Mark Felix, Jimmy Mark, who I used to get on really well with.
That's probably enough. We've got more super chats to go, but thank you so much for a comprehensive answer. Auntie Liz, I got on with.
I don't want to forget people.
No, that's fine. They're not watching. It doesn't matter.
Hopefully.
It doesn't matter.
If I missed, if
you get a shitty text in a second. What about me? Colin, thank you for the super chat. Do you think not having figure of eights has affected any of them with their lower reps, Lozzie?
Do I think? Yeah, Novikov.
Yeah.
That Novikov is very good at the figure of eights. And look, I love Novikov, but he deadlifts in his fingertips.
Yeah, he does.
I think
with the shorter straps.
I think that's affected him there.
Yeah, agree. Stephen, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, all new members and everyone gifting memberships. Okay. Lame, thank you for the super chat. Cheers from Finland. Did you ever have a chance to meet Finnish strongman champions?
Yes, I met
Tommy Lotter's Finnish, isn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't World's Strongest Man, but my first World's Strongest Man, I met Jani Virtanen. Compete with Jani a couple of times early on. I've met Jukka Ahola, and I've competed with a number of Finnish athletes.
Yeah. Oh, Rasmus, how can you have 135,000 subs and only 6,300 people watching? It's just the way,
that's kind of normal for
YouTube
any YouTube channel, to be
yeah.
honest. Not everyone has the time to sit down and watch every single video. So, we appreciate everyone that is watching right now and everyone that's liking.
Different folks.
Some people just kind of like to watch occasionally. Some people watch every video. But we appreciate every single person that supports us. It means so much.
Definitely.
Hooper versus Tom.
This is going to be exciting. Stephen, thank you for the super chat. How much do you think Brian's leg infection before the comp has affected him, Lozzie?
I've answered that a lot, so you can answer it.
Oh, I can give you the answer. He doesn't think it's affected him.
Do you think it's affected him?
No.
Because you're coming from a different perspective.
To be honest, because it was back in January, and since then we've seen so much good training prep from Brian.
I know people that have been, like people I train, have been to train with him personally and said Brian is looking amazing.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's affected him. It's certainly
not
a hiccup
ideal.
That wouldn't have been ideal, but like. We can't use that as an excuse for him.
No,
I certainly
because Brian's not using it
because I know so many other athletes that have been through big issues leading up to, and always do. It's just normal for a pro athlete.
Dive deep. Thank you for becoming a member.
It's not something that you want to wish on anyone. It's certainly not something that you want to happen, but there's always, issues, different types of issues that people have to go through.
Oh God, look at this, BMX. I am at World's Strongest Man, currently standing by the fingers with about 500 people. We're all here because they can't see the deadlift, so they're listening instead.
Wow. Well, we're trying to give as much. We've got the last two pairing now.
Yeah. Oh.
It was Ivers, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Ivers. divers, big fan.
Mitch and Tom are at the platform. Okay, nervous.
Yeah, we're all nervous. Oh, let's get Fred. Fred will come back to you in a second, our friend. And then we've got, So both of these are going to want at least 8 reps. 7 is the best so far.
I think they'd both be very happy with 8 reps.
Yeah.
I think they'd, if they both got 8, I think they'd take it.
There's 4 guys on 7 reps so far. Matt Ragg, Brian Shaw, Trey Mitchell, and
really,
Alexei Novikov.
They can't afford to do less than 7.
No, absolutely not.
They both need to at least match 7.
Yeah, because
if one of them can do 8 or both of them can do 8, they'll be very happy.
Oh man,
nervous.
Yeah.
Whew.
Here we go. Right, it's not strapped in yet.
Saw your arm wars, great showing. Wanted to get VIP tickets. Glad I didn't. Oh, it's sad to hear.
We're glad you didn't as well, Fred. Because
aren't having a great experience. I hope it improves.
Definitely. I mean, we can see how deep the crowds are, and unless you're a giant, I mean, I wouldn't be able to see anything. Right, guys are getting strapped in.
Tom is closest to us. Mitch on the far end.
Yeah, I'll count Mitch. You count Tom.
Oh, I'm genuine. I can feel my heart going now.
Nervous Uncle Lozzie. Right, they're off.
Both look strong on their first rep.
1 rep each.
2 each.
2 each. Mitch is slightly faster.
Mitch is looking good. Come on, Mitch.
4 each.
4 each. Both looking strong.
Yeah, both looking smooth. 5 each.
5 for Tom. 5 for Mitch. Well, these two are looking good.
6 for Tom. 6 for Mitch.
They're both going to get at least 7. At least.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom's starting to struggle.
Ooh, Tom's hitching a bit there.
Tom
7.
not locked out yet.
No.
Tom can't lock out this.
The 7th.
And it's
going
down. It's going down. He's still holding it.
8 for Mitch. No,
Mitch has done 8.
Getting the down
and Tom has done 6.
It looks
Mitch
like.
Hooper has won event number 2. He did 8 reps. Looks around. Tom Stoltman, I think, is on 6.
We think he's on 6. That last one, man, he had that up for like
Tom
10
looked really
seconds,
solid through 6. And then that 7th rep, he just got it over his knees.
Couldn't get his knees
and he
through,
couldn't lock his legs out. And he fought for what looked about 20 seconds.
Yeah, man, that was a grind, but I don't think he got it. I was looking at the referee. I did not see him.
So did Mitch get 8?
Down signal. Yes, I believe so. Looked like 8 reps for Mitch. 6
honestly, that is incredible.
What? 5? There we go. Right.
Oh man. I want to see the official results through before I get Tom 6.
Yeah. Come on.
8 reps for Mitch Hooper.
Yeah.
6 reps for Tom Stoltman.
He was roaring pretty hard at the end of that, so I figured he knew that he got the 8. There you go.
I can feel my heart going. But honestly, that could not have gone better for Mitch Hooper.
No, that's perfect. All those guys
that result
and Tom below them. That is now. Let's see what's that done to the points. Hold on. Let's get an update on points after 2 events. Right, the spreadsheet hasn't been populated
just
yet.
Messaging Mitch.
Just waiting for the spreadsheet to be populated so we can give you the standings after event 2. And then we need to find out, is the fingers going ahead today? Because there's a chance it doesn't if the bad weather is set to continue.
We will find out. We'll go through
dangerous.
we'll kind of stay on for now until we know what's going on.
He's not my friend, Iron Bibby. Is he not friendly? No, Megan, I didn't mean it at all.
Iron Bibby's one of the nicest people you will meet. So before anyone says anything, Iron Bibby is absolutely lovely.
Yeah, I think Loz was doing like a general you, but I thought he meant me, you. It's not that I just don't have a close personal relationship with Iron Bibby. Okay, after 2 events then. Jaco Schoonwinkel on 4.5 points in 10th place. Luke Stoltman in 9th with 5 points. Pavlo Kordiaka in 8th with 7 points. Evan Singleton in 7th with, joint with Matt Ragg on 9.5 points in 6th.
Brian Shaw pulling himself up.
Yeah, Brian is in 5th place with 10.5. Tom Stoltman is in 4th place with 14 points. Trey Mitchell in 3rd place with 14.5 points. Alexei Novikov in 2nd place with 15.5 points. And Mitch Hooper in 1st place with 20 points. A 4.5 point lead over 2nd place.
6 events out of 7.
so far at the World's Strongest Man. Oh my goodness. So that's a perfect start for Mitch. And the way it went for everyone else has kind of gone perfectly for Mitch as well.
He could not have asked for more.
Yeah. Wow. That is. And Tom off the podium at this point, but only half a point away from Trey Mitchell. Brian, yeah, as you said, climbing back up, 10.5 points though. So still a lot of work to do. And of course, poor Pavlo Cordiaca losing the points on that first event and then straight into deadlift, which is notoriously his worst event, but we expect him to climb the ranks there too.
So it's looking like 4:30 their time for the next event,
which would be 9:30 our time. Yes, 9:30 our time. So that should be in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we'll quickly knock off the super chats. John, where is your message? Oh, well done. There we go. Thank you.
Oh, Mitch Hooper is.
Oh, sorry, nearly flipped the table.
He's just a weird guy. He's got this ability to just raise his level. And, you know, the training that he's done has been so good. And it's not even like, you know, we looked at peaking for this competition.
Yeah.
We didn't peak for the Arnolds.
No.
But he's so good at performing when it matters because nothing is ever guaranteed.
No.
But he's just one of those guys that seems to not let the pressure get to him.
No, just gets it right when it matters.
I am so excited. I'm trying to keep calm because it's only 2 events.
Yes.
And there's still a lot to happen.
To do. Exactly.
But he is doing, you know, we kind of think every event we look at and it's like, okay, best case, worst case. And so far it's just best case in 2 out of 2. And it was best case in terms of everyone else's results.
Yeah. John saying, Auntie Liz, my best friend and I have been doing strongman training as best we can. And when we're doing reps, we always try and add 1 more rep for Auntie Liz. Thanks. Glad to help out with your training. Someone saying it would be good if we didn't put so much attention on the super chat. So the problem is we never, ever, ever have once asked for a super chat, but there's no way we can ignore them either because that would feel like the rudest
honestly,
thing in
guys,
the world.
We do a live every Sunday, and obviously they're much quieter.
Sundays,
they're much quieter than the World's Strongest Man week. And as much as we would try, we will try and pick out on
other comments as well.
We want to make sure that if you do a super chat, we do respond to it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you guys, this week for us is huge. It's by far the week that our channel makes the most money, which allows Liz to do this full time, and allows us to do a lot more smaller shows where we don't make any money.
Yeah, or actually at a loss.
At a loss, where we travel to places and lose out. So please understand that we want to focus on the super chats because you guys that are super chatting are supporting us so much. So that's why we focus on these today. But if you're a member, we will do a members only live where we don't expect any super chats at all. It's just for you guys because you support us. And we have quieter lives where we do focus on just people's questions as much as we can. But thank you everyone that's supporting us, and the super chats, they really mean a lot to us, so thank you once again.
Sophie, thank you for the super chat. Me and my strongman boyfriend Connor love you so much. You do the strongman community proud. Please keep at this.
Thank you so
much, Sophie and Connor. Thank you. DT, thank you for the super chat. My training partner is coached by Loz and I'm coached by Tal. We're keeping your rivalry going. Oh,
brilliant.
Wow, if you're coached by Tal, we hope the other one beats you. No offense. Dive deep, thank you for the super chat. I am 5'7", 280 pounds. Been weightlifting for a year. With my build, is competing in strongman a realistic goal?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Just keep getting better.
Strongman's so accessible now. Different weight classes, different age classes. Anyone can do strongman. Everything's loadable.
Yeah,
especially if you're doing it for fun. Tom, where is your chat, Tom? Well, Loz is going to try and find that for you because it's not attached to your actual... I won't be able to
because it doesn't go high enough from here.
Oh, no. All right. Oh, here it is. How does super chat work? Oh, I think you just learned, Tom. So you have to...
So you type your message first. Don't send it.
Yeah, don't hit the colourful button until you've typed something.
The super chat.
Yeah, the colourful button is too tempting. Mr. Joe Rob, thank you for the super chat. Let folks know to close the live feed to reveal the like button. Ah, there you go. Let those likes go up. So you have to close the chat feed, I think, in order to get the like button to show. There you go. You know more than us, to be honest. Not many strongmen do lives, do they? I know Mitch
does a lot of lives. Yeah. The Stoltmans have as well.
Yeah, they have done. I haven't seen much like that from them recently, though. I joined their first live. to support. Jeff, thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Chubbs Melia, the most handsome man in Albuquerque, and his kid Taco. There you go. Where are we? Try and get caught up. Oh, I called it. Dang, Moose. Wow,
Moose.
look at the Moose. Way to go, Mitch. Moose, big Moose. Big point spread for Mitch with 8. Yeah, that is a massive point spread. It's not like, he's come first and someone else behind him's come second. It's a 2-point difference. 4.5 points after 2 events is massive.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
And, with the potential of it getting bigger. I mean, last year, Tom Stockman won with a 10-point lead over second place. And it
was very close.
He only won one
the
event.
last few events.
It was, yeah. But everyone else was all over
Mitch
the
has
place.
done perfect so well, but nothing is over. Brian Shaw's clawed some decent points back on that event. Like I said, Brian Shaw is my favorite to win the fingers. Brian could win the truck pull. Tom Stoltman could win the truck pull. And Novikov could win the truck pull. Dumbbell, Novikov will probably win. Stones, Tom will probably win. There's so many factors that are still, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You just got to keep fighting. Mitch is doing amazing. Very proud of what he's done so far, but you can't get too, ahead of yourself. You need to just focus on one event at a time.
Mikhail, thank you for the super chat. Rauno's FaceTime is the highlight of this year's World's Strongest Man. Any merch goodies for the veteran members? Soon
we need to look at something that we can do for our long-term members.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at something like that.
Yeah, because some of you guys have been with us for, either nearly 2 years or 2 years. King Crab. King Crab.
We are, afterwards, we're going to have a bit more free time. We're going to look at kind of sorting out our merch and getting on top with things and trying to make sure that you guys that are so loyal to us are definitely rewarded.
Yeah, the last of the this next part of the year isn't so bad for us, is it? The first part was crazy. Can Tom still win, Lotto?
Yes, he can. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian Shaw can still win. Anything can happen. It's not over yet.
Can't see it. The Crab Lord.
The Crab Lord?
Yeah, so we will find out what's going on with event 3. They probably don't know yet.
As far as I've heard, we're looking at 4:30 local time. Okay. So that's 9:30 our time,
in
which
the
means
UK.
We'll probably be back on around 9ish, but we will post up and we'll try and find out exactly what's happening, seeing what happens, because weather could be dependent, and we'll let you guys know.
Ben, Moose is on top of the food chain this year. It's been a perfect start so far, hasn't it?
It's been amazing.
6 event wins out of the 7 that he's done so far in World's Strongest Man. He won the Arnold and he won Australia's Strongest International in January. So it's been a very solid start.
Look at him.
Jorian, thank you for the super chat. Now it's Mitch's to lose. Let's go, Moose. Lift heavy, be kind. Brian doing great also. I like how you did that. Got both of those in there. Brian definitely can still get on that podium with the events left to come. Like we thought, 7 doesn't seem right compared to what we knew people had lifted in 2021 final on this setup. But it does seem like there might be some differences, or just maybe the lack of figure of 8s is making it that much harder. I don't know.
Yeah.
There we go.
Everyone said I was mad for making Mitch deadlift with a stiff bar.
I know.
And Mitch has won the deadlift at World's Strongest Man. I don't agree with just trying to go overly specific on bars. Get good at deadlifting, and your deadlift will cross over to any type of deadlift.
Yeah. Mitchell, we need Thor to come back to stop the Moose.
That would be fun.
That would be a great rivalry. And hopefully we'll see it next year at the Arnold's and Rogue Invitational. Jason, thank you so much for becoming a member. Oh, Shady, where's your comment, Shady? Keeping out for it. We're like, the real Slim Shady. Yeah. Samuel, thank you for becoming a member. Oh, look, all these comments that don't have the actual chat attached. Here's Shady. Following the super chat, supporting the channel from day one. Thank you so much, Shady. Thank you.
Very, very
much. We
found
you. Let's find the other one.
What was the other one's name?
Aliana, was that? Hold on. Alina. Beginning with an A. And Lobster Pot. Thank you for the super chat. Mitch is crazy good. Can't remember a performance this dominant in years. Remember, we're 2 events in, but yeah, the it started very well in the heats, and it looks like it's going just as well so
Thank
far
you so much, Dan.
in the final.
So appreciative of all you guys. This, you know,
Yes, thank you, Dan. That's
amazing
very
to see the
kind.
support that you guys have given us this week. It really is quite heartwarming,
humbling,
and humbling, definitely.
Harm-warming. You have warmed Lozzie's harm. Stephen, thank you for the super chat. What about Brian's leg infection? How is that affecting him? We've heard this a lot. We don't think so because we know, and he said himself, he's had a great prep for this World's Strongest Man. Guys have been over and trained with him and said how good he looks. That was all the way back in January, so he has had a good amount of time to recover. But the competition's harder every single year.
Tom's comment is a little bit lower. I just found, if you keep going down a little bit.
Okay.
There it is.
There we go. There we are. Okay, so my original question was, LOL, I see a lot more hammy injuries lately, and I wonder if these guys aren't training hammies more.
I don't think you see more hammy injuries. There's been plenty of hammy injuries in strongman for years. I think we see more strongman now. That is the honest answer. The hamstrings are very heavily dependent in strongman. You think of all the movements that they're involved in, and a lot of it ends up being cramp issues because the athletes are doing such long days in hot conditions. That affects it. But I've seen hamstring injuries since I started lifting. Weirdly, touch wood, I've not suffered too much with hamstrings myself, but I've seen countless hamstring issues. So it's one of those things, I think maybe because we're looking for it, we see it, but it's been going on for years.
And thank you so much, Brian, for the super chat for Uncle Loz and Auntie Liz. Thanks for all that you do. Thank you.
I do with my clients. I'm always trying to make them train hamstrings. Some places they don't have an awful lot that you can do for hamstrings. There's not a huge amount of exercises out there for hamstrings, but in terms of strongman, you think Atlas stones, all these kind of like triple extension movements, the bending movements, the hip hinging movements, they are all stressing the hamstrings. So working the glutes, hamstrings, quads, all very important.
Jason, thank you for the super chat. I love your Talking Strongman interviews. Please look at your playlist for Talking Strongman. It's been overtaken by anything but Talking Strongman.
Has our daughter been on there?
I was going to say, we had to boot the kids out of the account because they were adding things unbeknown to us to different playlists. So we will have a look up and a month.
Yeah, they've been locked out of our account.
Get off.
Didn't realise, did we?
No, they got their own child-friendly ones now.
It was not the smartest thing that we did,
Nightmare.
but yeah, there should not be any weird videos footage, but you can have a look through the
Santiago, thank you for the super chat. Can you say hi to my friend Hunter Mayo? Hi, Hunter Mayo.
Hey, Hunter. How are you doing?
Uncle Loz and Auntie Liz.
John's comment is just below.
Yes.
Thank you for the super chat, John.
Yes. At 42 years old, 185 centimeters, 113 kilos. Should be 95 with my muscle mass. 100 kilo log, 200 kilo deadlift, good goals. What about yoke? Can you give me weight and distance goals, please?
Honestly, just get better. And I know you're probably fed up of hearing me say this. I actually hate people messaging me saying I'm this age, whether it's older or younger, saying I lift this.
It's good for my age.
All that matters is that you enjoy lifting and you get better. At 42 years old and 113 kilos, whether you're 120 kilos or 80 kilos, you can achieve those goals. Okay, but just be patient and focus on progressing.
Find a plan and stick to it.
Yeah.
I've heard it before too.
Honestly, all that matters, like, have no top end goal. You might do better than that. Don't put a limit on what you can do, but let's focus on the next goal. So say you're doing an 80 kilo log, let's focus on 85.
Yeah, definitely. Small, achievable jumps. Jonathan, thank you for becoming a member. And the Denim Hand, thank you for the super chat asking about Thor's pec tear. Any thoughts on how it's going to impact him going forward?
I really want to see Thor back in strongman, and I want him to stop chasing the powerlifting record. I've not had a chance to watch Thor's video yet with World's Strongest Man being on. I will get a chance afterwards. I did message Thor, spoke to him briefly. He seemed in good spirits.
Yeah.
I'd love to. He's invited us over there to train with him later in the year. If we get a chance, we'd love to take him up on that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I want to see Thor do strongman, and I think Thor can come back to strongman and still do extremely well.
And not
I think chasing the powerlifting record is potentially going to cause more injuries and issues, and I don't think it's a smart thing to do.
Chloe Brennan in the house, thank you for keeping us up to date and in the loop. Thank you, Chloe, for joining us.
Hope you're doing well. We'll have to do a collab with Chloe again soon.
Definitely. Kevin, I've followed Strongman since my mum let my dad watch me, and it was what he found on TV. At the time, we were more focused on how big the guys were. Now I know it's more than just being big. Go Brian. Thank you for the super chat, Kevin.
Glad you're into the sport.
And Brown and Burley, thank you for the super chat. Honestly, win or lose, Brian can be proud. Making the final of 41 is crazy in itself.
Absolutely. And guys, let's not count him out. He just came second on the deadlift.
Yeah.
And he's got 4 amazing events to come.
Exactly.
Just because the first event didn't go well for him, let's not look at excuses. Let's see how the next events go. Brian is an amazing strongman. He could win the fingers. He could potentially win the truck pull. He could potentially win the stones. What's the other one? Dumbbell. He's very good at.
Yeah.
So Brian is not out of this. No. If you're a Brian fan, do not think he's done. I'm a Mitch Hooper coach, and I want Mitch to win. Brian is still a threat.
Absolutely.
Tom Stoltman is still a threat. Trey Mitchell is still a threat. Alexei Novikov is still a threat. In terms of being the coach, I'm telling Mitch to focus on one event at a time. Those athletes are still all very dangerous. It's World's Strongest Man final. Anything can happen. They are all amazing. Every single one of them in that final is amazing.
Lozzie, Loz, have you ever tried weighted Nordic curls for hamstrings? Doesn't take much setup and it's a killer exercise.
Absolutely. Great exercise.
Thank you for the super chat, Brian. Michael, thank you for the super chat. After the first 2 events, what are y'all's podium predictions? Ours was
I said Mitch, Novikov, Brian.
Yeah.
At the moment, I can still see it as a possibility.
Sticking with it.
I've been impressed with Trey.
Yeah, but we knew Trey would be a massive threat.
I think Trey's just going to be consistently scoring points. Yeah. And I think Trey will end up 3rd, 4th, or 5th, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think so too. Darren, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are awesome. Been watching Loz forever. Just love supporting Strongman in general. Thank you both for your coverage.
Thank you so very much, Darren.
Very kind. Right. Are we up together? I think, almost. Bees News is sneaking in at the end. Brian doesn't want to make excuses for himself. We don't need to.
Absolutely. Exactly. Brian is not done. Brian is not done at all. No. Apparently, is Andrea in here?
I don't know.
Frank said hi, Andrea. If you are in here, Andrea, we love you, but we are going to shoot off and we'll be back in about 2 hours.
Yes, about that. So
we will update on the community if anything changes, but we should be back in about 2 hours. Guys, go get a rest. I need to get some food.
Yeah, me too.
We'll be back soon. Thank you once again to every one of you that joined us. If you haven't already, go subscribe to the channel, like the video. We'll be back later. Take care.